Here we are together again on the internet. How to detect the truth. Yes, that's the topic tonight, live on Architects of Humanity. I'm your host, Max Doubt. Drew Ma loves Drew Ma's love advice. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, bro. Mr. Super Sidewinder. What's up, man? Always a pleasure, man. Yeah, man. Been right. The weekend was kind of nuts, if I must say so myself, especially with some extremely colorful characters that promote things that they don't support themselves. That's the craziest thing. It's like, hey, place this bet. Do you bet? Nah, man, I don't bet. Just I mean, this is the way you can detect, strong way to detect. White Heat Truth, what's up? Greetings, Max. I watched Room 23 last night. Jim Carrey did a good job. However, the entire plot was quite dark. Nevertheless, he caught the fever for the favor, for the flavor of the numbers. Yeah, man. Fever for the flavor. You know what's up, bro. I'm gonna read. Thank you for watching it, bro. Yeah, it is a dark movie. It's a very dark movie, man. I'm gonna rewatch it and look for clues that might relate to the gematria psychosis that we see that is preys on any type of mental instability a person might have. And we do see this. This is nothing against anybody that studies gematria. It's just to say be very careful when you do, because if you start seeing numbers everywhere, it goes into very similar to that you know the number 3. So yeah. Mr. X, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see MD just joining in right now. So I know it'll be a lively
Yeah,
conversation here.
yeah. The number 23 with Jim Carrey is really deep on that. It's very close. I dropped a video a couple of minutes ago about the gematria. It's a fun little look at it. And our friend that grifts, consumed by grifting. It's like
Hmm.
it's like buy my betting picks, but do you bet? No, I don't bet. It's like wow, wow. I mean that is one way that puts up a red flag if somebody's lying to you or they're trying to sell you something that is not good. We see it with the manufacturers of certain items. Anybody can look up certain McDonald's entrepreneurs, do not eat that themselves or do not feed it to their family. People that produce magic potions like the quaxine and stuff, a lot of them are very vocal about why they don't use products that they themselves push on the population.
Right.
Now, this is my opinion, and we see it in, of course, the betting. We see that, okay, if you're going to give a pick, if you were to have something that you were pretty sure or saying that it's beyond chance that is going to win, your pick's going to win, why wouldn't you bet on it?
Yeah.
It's because it's not sure. See, this is a way to detect a lie, to say, wait a minute, you're telling me this is a sure thing, but you're not, uh, you're not, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. And he says
Drew
he
Ma-
doesn't gamble, but what the heck? Why are you talking about gambling then? You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Drew My card says it's all the Jesuits. It's all the Jesuits, man. Drew's funny. White Heat Truth, that was a good short. Whack is still bad jacketing you. Wow, I didn't even know. And Mr. X on his occult gematria network. Wow. So we're living in this guy's head.
Yeah.
Holy,
Beautiful. That's great.
wow, man. I mean, once I hear them say stuff about you, like you don't attack anybody, you don't say,
Not really. Yeah.
nothing disrespectful. And once I see that, that is such a telltale sign of their psychosis.
Yes.
It's like,
That's
I mean, I saw it with Calyx and Set Scales. I was just like, man, these guys had something hidden deep inside.
they hate the fact that I'm a supporter. They just hate
Yeah,
it. They hate
yeah,
it.
yeah. They really,
But
well,
also, you got to look at it as a compliment because it shows you the effectiveness of your communication skills. You know what I'm saying? That it bothers them. If you
mhm.
didn't have effective communication skills, they wouldn't care.
Yeah, yeah. They definitely wouldn't care. Yeah, I think he's, yeah, afraid that people might actually listen. And now he's come up against many people that I mean, I didn't know. His deeds have come back. You know, the seeds he planted of deceit that deceived people came back. They grew and became strong.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, you know, kind of just like with the other channel, people were looking for the some place or a platform to say, look, this guy, you know, he has a whole network, you know, threatening and all of that. And now this is the platform. Of course, we still will do human origins, but we're going to help people and, you know, show them like tonight how to detect the truth. This is the link to the video that I made. It's only a minute long,
I
but
gotta check
it's
it out.
yeah, you know, it's a funny video. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but
I'm gonna
yeah,
see it right. Let me go ahead and see it right now.
yeah. All right. Detecting the truth requires shifting away from misleading body language cues and focusing on verifiable details, verbal consistency, and cognitive questioning, rather than trying to catch a liar. See, this is why I didn't name it "How to Detect Lies," "How to Detect Truth." And if you notice that on the thumbnail, it actually has, if someone could see it close up, the uh, the lie detector readout has truth at 12%, but lie at 88%. So this is, you know, to put a little thing in the thumbnail to, like, you know, maybe if people notice it. So it's detecting more lies than truth. And to understand something as a lie and to say, no, this is a verifiable lie, that is the truth. The truth is verifying the lie. So that's why I put it that way. So rather than to catch a liar, the most effective strategy is to establish a checkable reality. So something you know to be true. And we know that, hey, wait a second, if somebody's trying to push something on you that they themselves would not use, it brings up, like I said, that red flag that invites further investigation. So let me see the other parts, because, you know, I have like a few things here about this, how to detect the truth
I
in many
tell you,
ways.
MT. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What is
Your
it?
talent is really in these videos. You got to keep producing these things. That was priceless, man. That was awesome. I just
Thanks.
watched it. It's like this is your calling right now. It's the best of both worlds. It's the new technology with your creativity, and it's an awesome combination. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thanks. I appreciate it, man. Really do. Yeah, I was trying to release it by this afternoon, but I was doing so much and I got tired. I had to take like a quick nap before, you know, the stream so I could stay up a little. And I was like, man, I said, okay, I just uploaded it at like 9:50, you know? So it was like, because I wanted to upload it early, but I said, you know, if I get it out today, you know, I keep to my word, you know?
I mean, these are going to be great for producing shorts and everything. I think these are going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is
Thanks.
the way to go. You're going in the right direction. I really feel that way.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna produce more. Hopefully, I can get one out every day. Scribe was working with a program. He was telling me about different ones that are even better. But I'll see what happens. The MAGA Mike, man, good to see you. It's been a while, man.
Yeah.
It's time to admit it, Max. We are being invaded. Oh my goodness, come on, yo, Mike. Oh my goodness. So we're being invaded by by the non, right?
Yep.
Because the elites want to replace uh basically what you're saying is are whites, and Trump is doing nothing about it. You know,
Can I
it's
comment
like,
on that?
yeah, please do. Yeah.
Because if you've maybe you've seen me before, you know what I mean? But I'm
Hmm.
really white. I'm a really white guy, you know. But 25% of me is South American,
Hmm.
it's Arab, and there's even African in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like MAGA Mike, you're not living in reality, man. Because if you saw me, you'd think, okay, he's white, he's fine. But it's like, no, no. If you want to
Yeah.
get scientific about it, there's, with me, I'm 25% non-European. And it's like you just lost, man. It's not about skin color, man. You got to get over it. It's like just because and I'm blonde hair, blue eyed, you know what I'm saying, or brownish hair.
Hmm.
But it's like I'm not even a quarter of me is completely non-white, non-European to be specific. So it's like you're living in the wrong reality, man. But hey, we appreciate the super chat though.
Yeah, appreciate the support, Mike. And I think just the way you veered away from Trump, you're going to see that they use that to control you, you know. So it's those books that I was saying to, you know, that I recommended, how Italians became white, how the Irish became white, how the Jewish became white. It's a classification, a label. You know, you don't ever let somebody regulate you to being a color, Mike. I mean, you're a cool dude. Soon I might see your name just as the Mike, you know, and I really appreciate the support, bro. The change of what, see, Trump, even if Trump was to do something, right, to say, which he is, I mean, look, I mean, it's really sad, it's unfair that he's taking everybody out of high positions that are black, and this is, you know, you can see this. So what are we doing when we do that? We're taking out people that's qualified and replacing them with people that are unqualified. They're only getting the position because of the color of their ethnicity. And that's not even accurate, but I'm just going to say it that way. But, you know, we'll go deeper on this, man. I mean, because I want you to see the truth. I know I can't see it for you, but you very veer away from Trump. So you see that it's not MAGA like it was. It was always a scam. None of them are looking out for many of us. And remember, good doesn't have a color. Good doesn't have a color. When they tell us a person is black or white, that's an extreme generalization. And it gets them to put a form of mind control due to bias and to say, hey, those people are invading, right? Now, what would you rather? Would you rather somebody who was somebody that looked similar to your genetic type, that wasn't a good person close to you, like living in your neighborhood, or somebody that looked different, that was a good person, a good neighbor, somebody who looked out for what was right, who kept the place clean? Um, it takes a lot of deep thoughts, but I hear Trump is a puppet, you know. So you already see he has exhibited extreme corruption, disrespect. But yeah, we'll go into it deeper, man. I hear what you're saying. Thank you for the support, bro. Mike also says America is a white country. If they outnumber us, this isn't America anymore. It will always be America is a country. All right, let's go back to,
America's a corporation. It's not a culture, for crap.
yeah, it's definitely a corporation.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it's like, look at 1850. You had a large percent of America that was black and native too, and you had the Chinese building the railroads, right? You had black and white building infrastructure. So it was never, the thing that they sold you was that it was a white country. Remember, it wasn't founded on religion. If you look at what John Adams wrote, it wasn't. And none of these guys, Washington, Jefferson, Adams, the rest of them, who here today, as far as what they would call himself a white American, is related to those people? And there's really nothing. Mr. Superside Wonder said, I watched the video. Thanks, man. Thanks. What blew my mind in room 23 was the author's name being Topsy Kretz. Yes, Topsy
Mm.
Kretz. Yes. Oh, he caught it. Man, bro, White Heat Truth is on point. Topsy Kretz. And then the guy coming on here is Topsy, right? Isn't that amazing? And
Mm.
the way the name Topsy Kretz sounds just like Top Secrets.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought about Topsy and began to ponder what the lick was. Coincidence? Help me. I tell you, this is the way I think the universe speaks to us in areas, in ways that we could never have imagined. I mean, I was thinking of being, you know, I thought Zach was a cool guy promoting the channel, really, really was a truth seeker. And then it came out that he was like a grifter, and then not just a regular grifter, but like a grifter for like a seasoned, a well-seasoned grifter for over a decade. And top secrets, yeah, man, that's some deep stuff. How it's not a coincidence. Something. This is how it speaks to us, man. Yeah, and you know, DEI, Mr. Superside wanted. They say I'd have to look it up, but they say the most people that lost the jobs with the DEI thing and all of that were white women. Those were the people, the majority of the people that were taken out of position from DEI was white women. So it was like, wait a minute, what is it? You know, I mean, they thought it would be, oh, a lot of people of color, but it's like, no, they have oppressed white women as well a lot. I mean, if you look at some of the movements from the late 1800s, that lady wrote the book about psychic and metaphysical stuff. She talks about when they spoke to the dead, and that's what gave American women their voice because they wouldn't listen to them. I mean, it they had to go into seances and stuff just to get listened to.
Mm-hmm.
Christ from Vegas says, if you're not a truther, don't join. Everybody's welcome here. We know not everybody's going to be awake, and they're still welcome to the stream. Um, the white replacement fear seems to be the new zombifying movement. We need a stream on this. Yeah, yeah. I will do a stream on that in the future, Alexis. I'll see what's up a little
I
sooner.
mean, the white people got to stop complaining, man, because this is getting stupid. I mean, I watched some of these old videos from the way back when, and you see these minstrel shows and everything like that, and it's like,
Mhm.
what kind of mentality would look at that as good entertainment?
Yeah.
Regardless of the times, it looks stupid.
Hmm.
It just looks stupid. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah. Extremely immature, and that's something. This is the thing, Mike. Check out the minstrel show. Check out Al Jolson. Check
Mhm.
out the stuff in the beginning of the 1900s, the advertisements that were very, very, you know, was very disrespectful and immature.
Yeah.
And Maga says, Max, come on, man. America was literally founded by white men, white Christian men. We aren't an Islamic country. Now, we are not an Islamic country. That is a fact. But as far as a Christian country, I would say read what President John Adams, right? The second, and I think he was the fourth president. So it was him, it was Washington, Adams, Jefferson, and Adams again, right? So Adams family or John Adams, he stated, if you look at the literature, that this is not founded on religious principles. This is important for you to check, Mike. Now, I understand that you think it was a white Christian nation, but they used Christianity to herd together groups of white. You know where Christianity comes from, and please look this up. The oldest form of Christianity, the most complete books of the Bible, are from Ethiopia. As crazy as it may sound to some people, you know, because that's all we've been taught, we would think that it comes from Western Asia, which they renamed Europe. So please look into that. And I hear what you're saying. It's not the Islamic thing in the country. I hear you that it is not an Islamic country. You're absolutely right on that. But remember, you know, the Klansman of the Christian was the real problem. Remember, the not all white Christians are in the Klan, but all of Klan are white Christians. You know, and think about that. Think about that reality. Not all white Christians are
Mhm.
in the Klan, but everybody in the Klan is a white Christian.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is something for us to think about, for us to grow forward together as a people. When I was in the military, there were guys that were very prejudiced. And I remember one of the drill sergeants saying, look, if somebody who looked different than you saved your life, how would you feel?
Hmm.
You know, how would you feel then? Um, Mr. Super Sidewinder says DEI hiring standards for diverse, equity, and inclusion hiring is a recruitment strategy designed to reduce unconscious bias and ensure equal opportunities for job applicants of all backgrounds. Yeah, definitely DEI. But when Trump tried to disband it, the majority, you know, to include, right, to reduce unconscious bias, there was a lot of unconscious bias toward women, and surprisingly white women, and they had a lot of positions due to DEI. But the racism that they implant in people's mind, or that people allow to be implanted in their mind, is what got them thinking that the majority of DEI recipients were not white. And that's how they feel. This is where racism is it can eat the mind away, the critical mind, because
Yes.
it gets you to think only in black. It takes away a world of color, and it puts it in monotone, puts it in the black and white. So yeah, but you're absolutely right, Mr.
But can I
Superstar.
ask you something, MD?
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I'm looking at the history of the country, specifically the U.S. and the the race issue that this country has certainly had. What's worse? Is it the fact that the government passed Jim Crow laws, or in the Constitution considered black men to be what, a quarter of the white man or
Yeah, I
something
think
like that?
3/5. Yeah.
3/5. But is that the worst part, or was the worst part the zombies who felt it was okay to mistreat people based on that law? You know what
Oh,
I'm
the
saying?
zombies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I mean, and another thing for MAGA Mike and everybody to look into, there were a lot of black governors in the 1800s. So today, I don't think there's any black governors, but there were black governors,
Hmm.
mayors. I mean, there was a thing that happened in Alabama where it was an atrocity because of the racism. But if you look at this, there was a black car company, the Patterson Car Company, at the turn of the 20th century, from 18 to 1900s, that was owned by a black family. Uh, I went 40 and when I came home, there was in my house had a mechanical arm. He had a mechanical arm.
I have no
I
clue
don't get
what that
that.
means. But
Yeah, I'm not sure. Including different races, age, and genders. Yeah, definitely with the DEI. There's no doubt about it. Um, I don't get what this guy's saying. When I came home, there was in my house. He had a mechanical arm. A robot or something.
maybe, I don't know.
Sorry, brother. YouTube censored my first message. Wow, I didn't know. I mean, sometimes, yes, StreamYard does that too, man. I don't know why. Just like maxed out sounds like maxed out. Yes, you got it, Sven. Definitely, man. I started off by saying join my page. Oh, to win millions. If you're not a Ruther, don't join. Yeah, I don't know why sometimes it doesn't let stuff post, man. I don't. I haven't banned anything. I mean, it does now. It has like a certain set of words that it does automatically, and I think you got to go in and change it so it does it by default. I see it as the governing bodies have a diabolical plan for every race and ethnicity. The main
Agreed.
thing to consider is they're putting bad ideas into people's heads. Thus, the zombie phenomena takes hold. Yeah, you're
Yep,
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and Super One says Washington was not a deist, not a Christian. Yeah, exactly, man. You're right about that. I'd Zach in is Zach in the Klan. I mean, I wouldn't think so, but he's definitely in like a different type of hate group. That's what I would say. Yeah, he's in a different hate group because you got
Yeah,
hate groups. Yeah, that and when you look at people that are in the Klan that are Christian, the only reason you can think that way is if you hate yourself.
that's
So
right. That's
yeah,
right. I mean,
exactly.
Soft White Underbelly's got a great video just posted up, a new one about a son, a man and a woman. Both were the son and daughter of a Klansman, and they had a terrible life. They used to have to wash and bathe in a creek behind the house. They had no electricity. They had no running water, and this is their father in the Klan. This is how he treats his own kids.
Yeah,
So called, he loves his white race, but he treats his own kids like crap. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
It's a
exactly.
stupidity. It's a level of stupidity. It's all
Yep.
it is.
I think there's a book called The Invention of the White Race, and that's another one too, because they
Mhm.
want us to think of a race of we're against each other. But honestly, when we work together, we produce
Yeah,
so much more.
yeah,
Uh, White Heat says the U.S. system was founded on European principles. Now, you see, that's the thing. European principles that that doesn't make sense because the principles of the people in Czechoslovakia are different from those in Italy or Germany or
and it
Russia.
really wasn't. England had a king and queen. We didn't have a king and queen.
Yeah, exactly. So we are different, very much different. Keeping it this way is another daunting discussion. Perhaps the government spooks out of everyone affairs can be a first proactive step. I mean, government, as we spoke of before in one of the previous live streams,
Hmm.
is a fiction. It's the fiction of government. It's basically if you think the government is going to fix something, that's like thinking Santa Claus will take care of Christmas. Santa Claus is not going to put up the Christmas tree. He's not going to bring the presents. He's not going to answer letters, just like the government, because it's fake and we believe in it. And instead of letting somebody that we know would do a better job, we let crooks that we don't know, proven to be criminals. Right now, you have what somebody with a felon is called what? A criminal. So now it's all in the open. But nobody seems to care about that. If Obama had a felony, you think he ever would have gotten into the presidency? Oh hell no. Trump is the is uh I mean, he is just the epitome of basically hatred. Magus Mike says multiculturalism is a failed experiment. Wow. Look at FBI stats, Mac. Black on white crime is far above the opposite. They hate us. So why do we keep them here? Think of this, Mike. If you look up, you got to dig for this. White on white crime is higher than black on white crime, but they don't want to tell you that. Look up these statistics on the majority of people that commit child crimes, and it is by far white males. Now, and I say this without saying anything against white males. Um, this is just to say that it's something that needs to be looked into, just the way this the majority of black on black crime is committed by blacks.
Yeah.
So they'll try to switch it. Remember, if you look into these statistics, you'll see a lot of them are lies, you know?
Yeah, Mike, you're gonna find scumbags in every race. This is called living in reality.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if this guy is threatening or something. When I came home, there was a man, he had a mechanical arm. I mean, are you trying to threaten somebody here or something, man? It sounds that when he said 40-0, it's like, look, man, if you understand, remember, everything is being monitored. So I don't know what's wrong with you. I went 40-0.
They either have mental health issues or low IQ. All his ex followers.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some of the viewers are crazy. Yeah, Christ is right. Clan Master Hubbard. Yeah, he's definitely something with Clan. Yeah, and I'm glad Zach can say whatever the fact that he's still thinking about me, right? I mean, the fact that he's still thinking about me, and he doesn't understand the beautiful and wonderful life I've had with women. And most guys like Zach, when you look at him, I mean, come on, you see the cuckness right there. Yeah, that's not true. I mean, I've shown pictures before, chicks, I've been to many countries. I was a teenage soldier at 18, man in uniform, 6'1", and women were all over the place, basically throwing themselves at me. But a lot of guys don't like that because if they haven't experienced that, they like to downplay it. Drew Ma says, looks like we have attracted some Kyle Hunt and the boys are back. Yeah, man. Very, very bigoted. And Zach, it's like I told Zach, he should be more concerned about raising his kid. Like when they hit him with the bear spray, he should be happy that wasn't bullets, Topsy, brother, good to see you. Topsy Kretz, yes. What's up, Max? He said, "What's up, Mr. X? What's up, everybody? Always good to see you, bro.
Good to see you, Topsy.
Yeah, man. If you wanna, we got the link always pinned to the top of the chat.
He's been making the shows.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Bringing all the fat.
Topsy, man. Topsy brought in the real, man. He brought in the real, and it just, yeah, man. It's great, It's that, and when I look at the, it just when I look at some of the stuff that the internet has produced with the mental psychosis, and this is why I made that video, to show like gematria can cause a psychosis, and especially we see it with this guy Zach. I mean, the fact that he's still thinking about that and sending people to say hateful things. It's like we have not had anybody from here go over there and say anything hateful.
No.
If anything, they're just asking questions. And that brings up a big red flag. I think people are he's exposing himself for who he really is.
Yes.
Yeah. And it just it has me wondering. It really has me wondering. It just man, I'm surprised that this guy is still on this. Yeah, man, we just sit back and let Topsy tell the truth. Exactly, the Topsy credits. That's like from definitely. I think what you might have might have hit on something with the movie 23 with that, man. I'm gonna look into that again if the stream goes early enough tonight. Maybe I'll get a chance to watch some of it. No need for me to say my part. I don't need Zach's troll harassing. Yes, his trolls will be here soon. Watch, it's funny. We're used to it. Drew Ma's hilarious. He goes, MD must be a Jesuit.
Yeah, no. He
Yeah.
thinks you're a Jesuit, and
No, no, Drew's making fun, man. Drew is a funny dude.
no, I know. I'm just saying it's the same thing as
Yeah, he's probably
the
gonna
evolution of
eventually.
the
We're
Bible.
gonna be, it's gonna be more than me. It'll be like, oh, both of them are Jesuits. Anybody that comes on the stream is a Jesuit now. So it's
Yeah,
like, if you come on, you're a Jesuit. If you don't,
and
yeah,
yeah, put two
yeah,
and two together. If it really was the Jesuits, he would have been shut down a long time ago.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah, and it's like, what, I didn't even really think. I'm like, what is a Jesuit? You know what I mean? It's such a
Mhm.
loose term when you look into it.
That's
It's
right.
like, oh, it could be this part of Catholicism or that part. And yeah, he runs a cult, man. He really does. But how to detect the truth is a topic for today that will dispel him. It will disintegrate him.
And
So
you
do
see followers, they're low IQ. All
yeah.
they can do is use curse words and F words and call you that. It's just
Mhm.
they don't have anything relevant to say.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, the racial hate will come out from them. It will definitely come out. It will eventually. I can feel it brimming on the tips of their lips to come out and say something, but it'll just reveal who they are even more. Alexis says, so do numbers actually mean anything, or was Zach just saying BS? Numbers do have a significance, but not in the way that he's pushing. He's using it like the last stream. Can gematria create psychosis? And we show how it attacks underlying conditions. And we notice a lot of people will see something and immediately, oh, that's 201. Oh, that's 68. That's 47. And what does that mean? What does that mean? It's like, if we could use them to track through something, I've yet to see anybody who's really done it for any future events. If you look back, it's like it creates a jumbling of the mind. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, what about the things that don't add up? You have to add that in. So numbers always have some type of meaning, especially when correlated to language, but not for the purpose that Zach is saying. Yeah, Zach is just BS. He's a grifter. He's a grifter that tells people to bet on things that he himself doesn't bet on. That says it right there.
no
He'll
different than all the get rich quicks gurus. They just give you some system, and they take advantage of the weak. The weak minded. That's just how it works. The suckers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, I guess I dropped out to work for Jesuits, right? Pastor X is now taking confections. Oh man, why are you coming at Jack? I'm not coming at the trumpet salami. Yeah, I mean, ain't nobody coming at Zach, man. If he has, right, then why? If somebody makes a lot of money, why is he charging you?
Yep.
Why would he want $5, $10, $20 from you? If somebody makes a lot of money, because he's making the money off of you, you got to pull your head out. You gotta wake up and smell the control, man.
Hmm.
That's what it is. Yeah, the Dodgers, what, 20 years after? It's like, was he there when the Dodgers won the series, saying, hey, they're gonna win the series? No. 1415 Gematria decoders thought Philly would lose the Super Bowl and have their overall record go to 6. Wow. But that didn't play out. Thank you for that, Sven.
Mm.
Thank you for that. You're showing the truth on that. It really does. Who
Gotta
works for free? You want to know who works for free? People
back.
that have money, people that have a lot of money, that are good people that say, I have enough to retire on, or I work a job and they get money from somewhere else. Now, we know Zach does not work a job. We know that. We know that he basically sitting there cracked out behind the computer,
Yeah.
jiggling, behind the desk. So we know that too. And that's the thing. That's the thing. If so, right? If if I had millions, right? You're saying you made millions. You're lying. You
Yep.
wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. You would not be here. Yeah, is this he made help people? Is that why they bear sprayed him in the face? Is that why they bear
That
sprayed him?
has to be Zach, man. Come
It
on.
has to be Zach. It
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, the guy is so hurt. See, I think he wants I think he wants us to continue clowning him, because that's what a circus performer wants.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, jiggling. Yeah, he is cracked out, man. He is definitely cracked out. What moment first raised your suspicion about Zach? It was the second stream that It's the second stream, and I'm glad. I keep threatening, man, because all of this is recorded. To keep threatening, it's everybody knows the IP. You think they don't know? You think I don't? I can't get that, right? What if I'm law enforcement? How would you see? Yep, just watch, right? Yeah, just
That's Zach. That's
yeah, just
definitely Zach.
exactly. When he
I
sees,
made millions. Now I'm going to threaten
yeah,
you. Come on.
yeah.
No.
Well, when they see law enforcement telling them something, then they'll realize, wow, they messed with somebody. I mean, now it's becoming with AI. You even insinuate threats, and they're going to be on you. You
Yeah.
know. And I've never threatened anybody, but I notice Zach seems to threaten a lot, and that's probably why he got the bear spray in his face
Hmm.
and yoked and ragdoll. There's people who do things free for family, friends, needy folks, and animals.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. They got a video of a guy feeding animals out of his own pocket, and he's not even rich. So, I mean, Zach wants to be more exposed. We'll expose him more then. Because
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure more people like Topsy and all of these other guys will come forward. You mean the Dodgers team that has $1 billion payroll? The Dodgers team has Show Otani, who has $1 billion contract. No one needed gematria to see the Dodgers were going to win. Exactly, bro. Thank you for that, man. They don't need gematria for this, They don't need that. Yeah, these guys, what it is they're missing something from their life. Yes, they're all frauds, and that's why they're drawn to a fraud like Zach.
Big
That's
fact. Big
yeah,
facts. You said it right there. Frauds like frauds.
yep,
100%.
exactly,
That is
man.
so true.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. It's like, and Christ said, from Vegas, he said he called the Dodgers. So, so the other guy,
Without the numbers.
exactly, without the numbers, man.
And when did he call it? Before the season started or right during the World
Hmm.
Series?
Yeah. Um, yeah. In nature, everything moves in cycles. There are reasons, there are seasons, the phases of the moon, the journey of the sun, and the repeating patterns that shape life. The concept of a month is based on moons. Yeah, a month. It was actually called a month. Yes, that's true, man. But funny enough, and I've noticed they want to make the stream about them because everything about them is talking about us. So
Hmm.
they're just, they're not. I think they're losing sleep over this. That's the most hilarious thing.
That's a good thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a very good thing, man. But rather than trying to catch the liar, remember the most effective strategy is to establish a checkable reality. And
Hmm.
what these guys are showing us is a clearly checkable reality. They're
Yes.
showing us clearly that the fact that they're trolling like that, that it is a checkable reality, that something is festering in their mind, which is the psychosis created by the gematria and their cult leader.
Hmm.
So the cultists, that's what's really doing it. I think this is Topsy. What's up, brother?
Hey, Topsy.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today, man?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Not much. I was going to stay in the chat, but the guy that's defending Zach about the calling the Dodgers, I just wanted to address that. I don't want to spend too much time on Zach because I feel like we made our point with it. But
Hmm.
I just want to say, calling the Dodgers is not impressive at all, bro. They're a super team. That they have a loaded team, a very loaded team, a very historical team. They have $1 billion payroll, and they've got Otani on that team, who's the face of baseball, who has $1 billion contract. You don't you don't need numbers to know that the Dodgers are going to win. Most casuals who bet had Dodgers win the World Series. Claiming that as a win is just like when Moderna stock went up during COVID, and Zach said he predicted that their stocks would go up. Moderna is the vaccine company, and he predicted that their stocks would go up during a pandemic. Like, that's not impressive. Of
No.
course, their stocks would go up during a pandemic, bro. Like, and this is what I'm talking about with these dudes, man. Like, these are the people that we're dealing with here. And I don't know, man. It's just maddening that these people are, they defend this dude to no end when the fraud is so obvious. It's so obvious, like it's plain as day. Like this dude is a scammer and a fraud, and they just defend him to no end, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're being. This is how cheap these guys are, because I've seen this happen with other grifters. They're so cheap and easily bought that Zach probably gives them a free $20 a month Patreon, and they'll troll just for that. This is how cheaply bought they are. I know how these. I remember guys giving free courses just so people would harass me, and they would write me, and I'm like, a free course on what? How to pick up women that will never like you, that you'll never get close to. It's like a free course on how to make money that that they haven't made money themselves. It's like the thing. What this zombie for Zach doesn't realize is that Zach, I mean, you said it best. He doesn't bet at all. So this zombie is so like mentally controlled to say, wait a second, the guy that's giving you the picks doesn't gamble. It's like that should actually bring up a
That's
big red. Yeah,
yeah, man. Like if it's what he claims it to be, why is he not gambling? Like how do you guys not see that this is a grift? The guy that pushes gematria and claims that it's so consistent and it's so undeniable and it has so much predictive power, yet he's not gambling. How is that possible? I don't care how financially stable you are, man. There's no such thing as too much money, man. Like as long as you can milk it, you're going to. There's no way you figured out a way to legally make money, bro, consistently, and you're not doing it. But you push it, but you're not going to do it. That doesn't make sense whatsoever. And they've yet to see that.
yeah,
14 years later, Zach is the only one that has enriched his life, and everyone else is maybe have made a few $1,000s, but no one. He's the only millionaire in the community,
yeah,
literally the only one. How is
yeah,
that possible if this is what he claims it to be? The person that pushes gematria yet doesn't gamble somehow is the one that's the only one that's rich, and the people that purchase it is not rich. They're still in the same place financially.
yeah,
At best, they're a few $1,000s to the good. How is that possible if
yeah.
this is what you claim it to be?
Yeah, it's not possible, man. You know what they've gotten, even if they do get a little bit, couple of thousand, they get a mental psychosis that they'll never get rid of. I mean,
Yeah,
everything they look at, they become crackheads for Zach, and that's like a crackhead for a crackhead. I mean, this guy is really showing that he is in a state of mind control. Yeah, Zach charges the dummies. Yep, he's a scammer, and we got a really big zombie here today that is in the chat, and Mark is right. Good to see you. He says, imagine being a male adult and being a Zach acolyte. Yeah, you're absolutely. It's embarrassing when I think about these guys that are following him, because I've seen it happen before with other grifters. They put people in a state of mind control by lying to them. And that's why today the name of the stream is How to Detect the Truth, is to say, hey, one, rather than trying to catch the liar, the strategy is to establish a checkable reality, to establish the truth. So the research consistently, anybody can see it, consistently shows that relying on body language and eye contact is not really accurate. It's no more accurate than a coin toss. So instead, you listen for details. Truthful accounts are rich in details like times and names and sequences, and the fact that he is attacking to people, the fact that he had, there was a dating coach, 33 Secrets, and people were saying a lot of stuff about him, and he is a scammer. But this guy never, that I've seen, said anything anything about his critics, which showed a level of maturity in him, even though he was a scammer. And I think he's still scamming. But with Zach, he has a low level mentality. So again, he's like some of these other guys that can't take criticism, which says a lot about a person's character, you know. And White Heat Truth says Zach's Mega Millions Gematria Lotto. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Zach went to ASU. I can imagine that little twerp trying to rizz up some college chick with the gematria. Yeah, he's definitely making skin crawl. The chicks are not feeling him, man. He just, I mean, look, he's what, like 45 or something, and he's, with some, I don't know. I guess it's a Korean chick. He's got the kid. He's a babysitter. That's the most hilarious thing. He's a babysitter. It's like he's a house husband. He's a housewife, basically. Zach is a housewife. So that's what we refer to him as. He might as well put on a dress because he is a housewife. Hey, Trump, dude, did you bet on Philly in Super Bowl 15? Yeah. Yeah, just these guys are, Jack has caught them due to the gambling and the numbers. And he's a quick talker and he's a con artist, as far as my opinion is concerned. People, I mean, you yourself, other people have verified it. Sports Gematria page, man. That page must eat him up.
Yeah, it does. It does, because he can't control it. He can't censor it. It's out of, and it's nothing that you can't complain to YouTube to get them to take it down. It's all fair game. There's nothing that he can do about it. It's the truth, and he can't do anything about it. Like he tried to sit there and lie and say that he didn't say that about his mother, and he denied it multiple times. He said, I said it to him like 2 or 3 times, and each time he said that he did not say that. And all it takes is for you to go and visit the page, and you can
Yep.
see it and hear it firsthand yourself. He said that plain as day, and it's like he does not like that. It eats him up. Everything is all documented, man. And I give all the kudos in the world to Sports Gematria, man, for taking the initiative to actually start that page and start tracking everything that he does, man, so people can see the fraud firsthand, bro. Because for the first couple of years, like, people would call him out on these things, and because he has a bigger following, then people would side with him and just label us the trolls and the haters, because we're nobody. We're small. We don't have a following. We're just the people in the comments complaining about him, and he has the big following. So people would tend to like take his word. But Sports Gematria started documenting it, and then people could see it firsthand. Like, oh well, this is hard to deny. These are your own words. You can't deny this. And I just appreciate the fact that he took initiative and did that. And it's not just him catching them in his lives. He actually got a track record of his wins and losses. So you can't say that you're hitting at an 80 or 90% clip when the dude has it all documented. You're hitting at a slightly above 50% percentile. And that's like, I don't need gematria for that. I could do that on my own.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And anybody to analyze this, like Drew Ma been betting for decades, and he broke it down. Drew Ma says the Dodgers were a heavy favorite to win the World Series, and that is by no means hard to predict. Exactly. Drew Ma cards. Yeah, man. And he's been betting. He'll even tell me, he's like, look, you'll win $2,000, lose 1,000. He's like, you're lucky to get 1 to 3% over 50, 51%. And that's not really good odds, because you're more likely to lose. That's like top percentage gamblers, top percentage. Sven says, thank goodness for Sports Gematria. It is hilarious. Yeah, I think this guy's mad because when we talked about Ragdoll, he said this might be another Zach sock account, I think. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just the crackhead bike under his desk. Yeah, he's not using the Planet Fitness anymore. Yeah, he's not rag rolling, man. Yeah, it's just it is Zach, man. It's definitely Zach. The fact, I think he's mad because I clicked the thing on the StreamYard where he can't stream anymore. I did it to allow him to stream those streams when we were actually like kind of cool, which, I mean, I'm a very accepting person, but then when I saw he was based on just hatred, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to let this guy stream the stream. So that's why he probably went live the other night with his own thing. And now it's just basically he can't stream this stream anymore. Nobody can. If I click the box, it says they're allowed to stream it. So he's angry. No one in history has hit 80 to 90% over a period of time. Yeah, yeah. Drew Mock.
Not
Yeah,
not even close. When he says that, I don't see how anyone with a brain can actually take him serious. Like if he was to say something more realistic, like 60 to 65%, which
mhm.
is still very high. But if he were to say that, it would be a lot more realistic than to say something like 80 or 90%. And to say that no one in the history of sports betting has called nowhere near close to what he's called. Like that in itself sounds ridiculous to say that. And how people just go along with this nonsense is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly, man. IA says Zach only exists because people are lost and confused. Exactly, man. He recognizes this and deliberately focuses on ideas he knows will trigger people's emotions. Yep. And we triggered his emotions. See, he tries to do that. That's karma. So he's easily triggered, keeping them hooked in a never-ending loop. Yeah, they get stuck in that never-ending loop, man. And Christ from Vegas is right, man. Zach works with feds to I would believe that Zach is like Zach the Rat. We might have to start calling him Zach the Rat, you know. And it just Iam says instead of encouraging critical thinking, he gives them just enough to reinforce their beliefs and keep them coming back for more. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Perfectly said.
Yep, I am definitely sees it, man. It's and this is why I think he fears anybody that talks about real critical thinking because the person will see right through his scam. If they listen for the details, the truthful accounts, are always rich in details, like the times, the names, the sequences, and that can be looked at as what he says is a prediction. So the times, the names, the sequences of the teams, of the stats, of stuff that he's trying to take credit for that anybody like Drew Cards was just saying that's not a prediction. Moderna's stock rising is, I mean, you could look at that. That's not gematria. It's like
Oh,
saying,
man.
yeah, and you got to watch for the scripts. So that's another thing in detecting the truth. You watch for the scripts. Liars often sound like they are repeating a rehearsed script or they speak in highly strict chronological order. And I do see that with him. The chronological thing that gets people is when he fire hoses the numbers out at people. So that strict chronological order and chronology is based on, basically time, chronos, and time is what? Numbers. We start to see it's numerically valued going forward and can be tracked backwards. So he can use that to catch people in a state of mind control if their mind isn't strong enough to see through it. And that's why I have these streams so people can enhance their mind, strengthen it, think about different things. Yeah, Zach is not MIT blackjack team. He's definitely not. He's too goofy to do that and kind of complicated mathematics. Yeah, yeah, that he's too. Yeah, that mathematics is too complicated for him. Yeah, he just doesn't have that type of skill. So if anybody looks out for the scripts that he lays on top of on his grift, basically, they'll see that. Oh, the video I produced, I put it out like right before I streamed, and they
Yeah,
could
that
say
was hilarious.
it. Thanks, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
he really. I mean, he's hopefully people will realize he's in the psych ward. He's got the straight jacket on. He might as well wear a straight jacket when he live streams. I mean, the dude is insane, certifiably. And the sad thing is he's got a legion of nutcases that believe in him that maybe, they'll shake it off because anybody can get and we've all been in certain things where we see later on that I didn't know that wasn't true or something we grow out of it. So it's not a problem with that. The problem is when somebody's afraid to change, when they
Yeah.
say and they keep defending it. It's like, all right, you might do that to a position, but maturity is about growth. And hopefully they'll mature one day. The money can blind them because it's based on the greed. And when they really think about it, if somebody were to win money and to think, wait a minute, this wasn't according to gematria, this was just like normal statistics and thinking, they could
Yeah.
break the spell.
Yeah,
They
but
could
some
break.
people are too far gone though, man. It would take you to like be in one of the gematria chats to see it. The way they just go on and on and on and on with with the number crunching, man. Like they go really, really deep with it. And some people are probably just too far gone with it, to be honest with you. There's probably some hope for some, but it's a lot of them, man. It would take for you to be in one of those servers to actually see what I mean. Like they really go really deep with it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Alexis was saying I had made an app for these guys in the MGTOW. Yeah, I wasn't. I always used to say to them that I'm not in that group. I made an app for a friend, and the zombie movement for that, right? People would come and say, "Hey, man, aren't you, in that thing with the MGT?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, a friend of mine got a divorce, and I worked with an app maker, made an app, and magically people thought that I was with that. And I said, "Wait a second." I said, "No." And they just wouldn't. It's like if I wrote a book about doctors, that doesn't make me a doctor. I would criticize, show, okay, this is a right medical procedure and this is a wrong, and you need to have a medical license to order certain medicines. And that would be like, okay, how doctors think. I have a book that with that. It's not written by an MD. So, and I hear what you're saying, Alexis. A lot of people would say, oh, I made an app for a cannabis, because dispensaries are legal here in New York. I made an app for those guys. And I don't own a dispensary, I'm not in the cannabis field, but I mean, I used to be working at the dispensaries and stuff, but it's just like I'm looking at it like, hey, I produced an advertisement for them. I used to write blogs for certain sites, but that doesn't make me a specialist in that. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, that they always used to say, "Hey, are you part of this?" Like the guy that came on the other day saying, "Hey, are you black pill?" And I'm like, no, black pill is a metaphor for the truth. So when I wrote about that, it's saying, hey, you know what? Like the red pill in the Matrix, they were like, okay, you take this red pill and we're going to show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill, you go back to sleep. But the dating coaches took the red pill and said, oh no, what we selling, that's red pill knowledge. And that's why the black pill was created, to say, no, the red pill now is the blue pill. And they're going to lie to you to use that to get you to, one, to grift, to buy their course, so to subscribe to their website or their Patreon. And that's why the black pill was created. So when that guy came on, I could see they were already trying to say, oh, we're going to intimidate him with that. And I'm like, that just don't, it's like they think I'm a kid or something, man. It's like they don't see, they haven't come up against real men. They think they're tough. But if anybody thinks Zach is tough for his followers, just watch that video on Sports Gematria of him getting ragdolled and then bear sprayed to his face. That, says it all. Samuel says, the older Zach gets, the more unhinged he will become. He's a prime example of how money don't buy happiness. Exactly, bro. Exactly. And, the grift, man, the grift is just, yeah, man, these dudes is out to lunch, man. And you know what, man? If he keeps throwing in the comments, that's just making the algorithm better. So I'm like, great, man. His followers could not differentiate the nut ward from the ward cleaver. If they had, they would have realized Mr. Cleaver was right about the dangers of gambling addiction. Yeah, that is very true, man. That is very true. And I'm glad to see this guy typing in all of the gematria's truth, and trumpet sound me, just you showing that gematria, how it can induce a type of psychosis if somebody has an underlying condition. So maybe you had depression, trauma. I mean, could have been something else, schizophrenia. But the gematria can trigger that. Now, if your mind is strong, you can use the numbers to maybe pattern something out, but you got to figure out, all right, what does that pattern tell me? Can I even understand it? If you looked at, say, a manual on how to build a jet engine, could you really comprehend it on the first go? It's possible, but it's highly improbable. So these are things we look at and we say, okay, let me be realistic with myself. When somebody says, just be confident, I'm like, all right, you really think that works? Sit behind a jet airliner and be confident that you could fly it. You
Yeah.
want, yeah, you have to have experience. And yeah, Mark is right. Spurging out isn't a good sell. Yeah, I think he's been spurging out, man. I- yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that we can trigger him into reacting shows that he's not acting of his own accord, like we spoke about before. Always act of your own accord. Don't ever let anybody make you become reactive, because now they control you. Anybody that can make you angry becomes your master right that moment. So never let anybody, we are all going to get angry, but the moment you start to get, you say, wait a minute, I'm not going to give this guy control over me. The key words are give him control over me. So nobody has control over you unless you give them that control. The only freedom is of the mind. And these type of talks are what guys like Quackery is afraid of. He's afraid that people say, you know what? Let me ask some unexpected questions. You ask about peripheral details. What did you do right after that? So you ask them, hey, like the questions we had. So these picks that you have, do you gamble on them? What did no, he don't gamble? That's the biggest red flag right there. Say,
Yeah.
wait, you want, that's like somebody that's selling hamburgers, and you say, hey, do you eat are these hamburgers good? Nah, I never tried them. It's like, wait, so you're selling me these hamburgers, telling me they're good, all this stuff, but you don't eat them? And some people might still be hungry, and this is a good analogy because the person might have just came from to go to lunch, and they're hungry, and they be like, all right, let me get a burger, and they'll overlook the fact because of the hunger. So the hunger for acceptance from these guys that have had hollow existences throughout their life makes them easy prey to say, hey, subscribe to my Patreon, pick these numbers. It'll get you out of your depression. Again, the underlying condition, depression, that he throws the numbers on 201, 68, 74, 47, all this. And it's like, wait, what does this mean? It's just like the guys that say, hey, hurry up, the cops are coming, buy this bag, and whether it be a Gucci bag or a nickel bag, it's the same tactic of getting somebody to hurry up and buy. Kind of like the Korean store, you buy now, and it's kind of like anybody can see this. Yo, he's like, calm down, Zach. Yeah, Zach, that's definitely Zach, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, yeah, I'm like, wow. Children are like sponges. They absorb far more than many people realize. Sometimes Zach is holding a child while discussing topics such as satanic rituals. I'm not child development expert, but yeah, man. Yo, you saying a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. You're saying it so true, man. You're
Yeah.
saying it's so true. Yeah, it just
He,
yeah, and he's helping the channel. Exactly. He's helping the channel by spamming that in there. But
I don't see
again,
why they get so offended and so hurt. Like, if gematria is what y'all claim to be, then let it speak for itself. You shouldn't have to be this defensive about it. If it's what y'all say it is, it'll speak for itself.
mhm,
And
exactly.
Zach reminds me of the. I don't know if you ever seen when the McDonald's CEO, he had the video a few months ago or maybe last year, where he sat down to eat some McDonald's, and all he took was like this very very tiny bite, and then the video cut off. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes, and
Well,
they
that,
said it was like a fake bite, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, all
yeah,
you
uh-huh.
seen was like
Yep.
him. He bit the
Yeah,
bread. You didn't even actually see
yeah.
him take a bite of the meat. This
Hmm.
is like Zach and gematria. Like, he'll sell it, but he won't use it himself.
Exactly. Exactly. He'll act like he's an expert and never placed a bet on it. And it
Nah,
just yeah, he
that's why
just
his focus is to gain more Patreon subs, because the money is guaranteed that way. As long as you got subs, you're gonna get paid. But he understands that gematria can be hit or miss, and it's not reliable. And because of that, that's why he doesn't gamble. And it's a few times he hasn't said it lately, but there's a couple of times where he's said that gematria or gambling is immoral. Like, that's what he thinks of gambling. But he'll convince people to do it, but he won't actually do it himself. And the fact that these people that are so dedicated to him can't see this obvious fraud is truly amazing.
Yeah. You know what it is? They're consumed by evil. And that's what evil does. That's what something, non-beneficial, something that is malicious, will try to get you to do something that they themselves won't do. They try to corrupt you. So that's a perfect definition of corruption.
Yeah.
Somebody corrupting you, saying, hey, you know what, if I can get them to gamble, and it's saying, well, wait a minute, do you gamble? No, I'm a corrupter, basically, he's saying. And so the corruption that he spreads, it infects the minds of his followers that tend to corrupt more people. And if they see anything that is good that can end the corruption, it threatens their own mind frame of being corrupt. And that's what it is. Yeah, he said, yeah, Christ from Vegas says, yep. He said gambling is immoral. That's a clip that, oh, you have a clip of him saying that? Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That crushing. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely crushing. Now the troll ain't got nothing to say. Yup. Now he ain't got, yup. I hate gambling and even playing cards. That's a vice that never stuck to me. Same with smoking. Yup, bro. Brother Ali, good to see you, man. Always, man. This is I'm surprised Zach. This has to be a sock account. It has to be Zach, because it's like he's just too, or it could be Spurgwood. It could be Stonewood.
Oh
When I
God.
think about it. I mean, but maybe Zach. An unexpected question. So an unexpected question is another way of catching them out there. And when I brought forth the illusions, it was kind of an unexpected thing. Reversing order, asking the person to recount their story backwards, that can catch them out there. This is notoriously difficult for liars to do without making inconsistencies. So these are ways on how to detect the truth by not calling out the lie, but asking questions to where the liar steps into it himself. Observe the pause. Notice if they take an abnormally long time to answer simple questions, or if they rush to fill silent gaps in conversation. This is what liars do. This is a telltale sign. They verify without accusing, right? So when we think about these things, right, we say, okay, how do I protect myself first from a scammer, from a liar? And we will go through it again. Instead of making direct accusations, focus on verifying the information. So you don't want to accuse him. It's like we were saying, we have been, it's not unnormal when somebody does something that's racist to mistakenly say they are racist. That's how they get away with it, because they'll swiggle out. So you don't want to have the conversation of you're racist. You want to have the conversation of what you did was racist.
Yeah.
So now you see, because they are real, because if he is racist, he's going to swiggle out. If you just attack him on the race, you got to say, okay, look, this is what you did, man. And now when you ask him these questions of, hey, play it in the reverse order, they'll start to make those inconsistencies and they'll trip up. They do it all the time. And there's a point where you realize, okay, we can't have a conversation with him because he's got the straitjacket on. There's just nothing else to say to him. He's going to constantly lie. He's going to cheat. He's going to grift. And if we look at people that do that, constant. And look at Andrew Tate. He just always grifting. And it's sad. I mean, the fact that people, they have video of him saying that they manipulated guys to take out loans, all type of stuff. And the guy goes, hey, you didn't feel like any remorse from that? And he said, no. And I'm glad that's on video, because when they try to say, oh, no, he helped people, this and that, it's like, no, he didn't. He ripped people off. And he openly said that he did. So the cognitive dissonance in a person's mind is crazy, because they're going to sit there and be like, no, man, he helped me. This, it's like the dude saying that he grifted people. That's how he got all that money. He grifted them. Yeah, it's got to be Zach. Yeah, no straight man simps for another man like that. Exactly, man.
Yeah.
You actually yeah, and Sam was right. We don't want to gamble, man. We don't want to gamble. This guy You know, Zach, let's play a game of liar's poker. Yup. Yep. This is what he's so afraid of the truth that he has to send trolls. It's like I'm not even caring. I don't even know when he streams. It's like I figure, okay, I'm gonna stream and that's it. I'm gonna make a video, that's it. And then I gotta do my other productions. He's constantly thinking about this. So it makes me wonder. It's like, okay, he's lucky. He is so lucky that a lot of these other guys, whether they be busy or whatever, like yeah, I wonder why the link is not staying. I'll put it in there, Mr. X. That's weird, man. Because I do pin it, and I guess people are saying that they don't see it pinned. But Drew Masso had pinned to the bottom the other day. He said, yeah, it was there. But yeah, I just put it in there, Mr. X. Yeah, man. This it's like I don't want to have to make Zach a project, but if he wants to become a project, it's like there's not really much that we could, yeah. It just it's so funny because these dudes, these trolls, it's just and yeah, like I was saying, he's lucky that the guy who does sports gematria or these other guys that Topsy,
Yeah.
if they came on here, he would probably be losing his mind, because then they would have a stream that actually that is got a platform that goes live, because going live every day is tough. I can understand why people don't do it. I can understand why he makes the videos.
Yeah.
Videos are much more concrete. It's easier to watch the video. It has a structured time, and I think they're really good. I mean, those videos, when I saw just a couple of them and I said, wow, this whole channel has all these videos showing the inconsistency and the lies that Zach spewed. I mean,
and he's what what I like about him the most is that he's fair. He's very fair, and sometimes a little too fair. And an example of that is when his Super Bowl picks. One a few of them wasn't his. One or two of them that were right weren't his. A guy had called into the pregame of the Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl, and he gave out a sack prop that Seattle's defense would get at least 4 sacks, and it was his pick. But Sports Gematria, when he made his video, he gave the props or the credit to Zach, and he always does that. Like he'll be very he's very fair. So when people see the videos, you can't say that he's not fair or he's not giving Zach his credit. He doesn't, when he make his videos, he doesn't just talk about Zach's losses. He also talks about his wins. So you can never say that he's not being fair to Zach. He's always being fair, and it's always been like that with every video that he's made.
wow. So that probably, yeah. Go ahead, Mr. X. Yes. Oh, no, I didn't know.
Oh no, I was muted, but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
On mute.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you ever want to add in, just add in.
No. Tops is bringing the knowledge here. We're getting a clear picture of what this is, but it's like Tops. We dealt with this same thing with the dating coaches. It's the same grift. They take advantage of the vulnerable, and
Yeah.
it's the same. That's what these con artists do. It's the same playbook. The vulnerable people, whether it be gambling addicts, people have money problems. I guarantee you, most of his followers are probably struggling. They're
Yep.
not rich. They're not wealthy people. No, they're
Yeah.
struggling guys, working class, probably holding down 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Combine that with being like a degenerate gambler. It's like
Mhm.
the perfect recipe for that.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
preys on the insecurities. He preys on the position, the financial position. It's very predatory, man. But
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, just streams like this, people might wake up to it, how to detect the truth. And basically we know that, one, you focus on the words, not the body language, because sometimes if they're very well versed in lying, they might be able to hide those movements. They might stay very still. Body language does work when you look at some people, but the
Mhm.
grifters, they got it down to a science. I give them credit. They know how to manipulate people. But if you can see through it, if you think, they can't manipulate you. So you just listen for the details. Truthful accounts are rich in details, like times, the names, the sequences. and fabricated stories tend to be vague. They avoid verifiable facts. This is why I think he fire hoses all those numbers and this number and that number, because it brings a vagueness to it that avoids the
Yes, and then he can always say too, like say, well, you didn't say that number. Yes, I did. Play the recording, because he said every freaking number pretty much. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like he what was the what's the horse race that happens? The
Kentucky
big
Derby. Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby. And the horse Golden Tempo won, and it had very long odds. And he mentioned like 10 horses, but Golden Tempo was one of the ones that he spent very, very brief time on. He advised it as a dollar play. That's how much he thought of it. Like he didn't think much of that play at all. And he had like 3 main plays that he was pushing, and those weren't even close. Well, Golden Tempo was the horse that ended up winning. And then after the after the race, he made a video saying that he had Golden Tempo. And it's like, you didn't have Golden Tempo. Like you just so happened to mention the horse's name, but your the main plays that you actually had weren't even close. You advised Golden Tempo as a dollar play. And I'm talking about he spent very, very little time on it. That's what he does. He'll mention all types of scenarios that can happen. And then once the situation plays out, he said, "Oh, see, I told you." You know, it's like it's typical Zach, and people defend this nonsense. It's crazy.
Well, I noticed they're mostly low IQ. Based on the trolls that have come on here, that's low IQ trolling. Just using curse words and everything. That's not even sophisticated trolling. That's very low IQ.
Low IQ, yep.
They don't have the intelligence to troll intelligently. You know, they just don't have it. They give themselves away in 2 seconds.
And like again, it's like, why are you so upset? If Gematria is what you guys claim it to be, then just let it defend itself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Drew Ma is crushing. He says he's making fun of him. He says, I like to make my picks using a crystal ball and a Ouija board personally. Drew is crushing, man. White Heat Truth said Zach has Golden Jesuit 201. That's crazy, man. Yeah, the Kentucky Derby thing, man. But you know, that's the value of the stream. How to detect the truth. And like we said, listen for the details, because truthful accounts are always rich in details. You know, they'll add stuff to it. The liars, the fabricated stories tend to be vague. We watch for the scripts. Liars often sound like they're repeating, like the rehearsed script, the speaking a highly strict chronological order. So we see that with the script in this case is anytime the numbers, he'll add it up. He'll use the calculator. The crazy thing is he's using the calculator of a guy that he had a falling out with, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. And we'll talk crazy to him because of the way that he structured his calculator. It's his calculator. Like, what in the world? What is wrong with you, man? He'll tell Derek all the time, man, like, you got, like, you did it, like, you need to, because I think he took away the ampersand, the ampersand. How do you pronounce that? That symbol that
the ampersand.
Yeah.
Yeah, ampersand.
Yeah, Derek took that off of the calculator, and Zach got mad about that. And it's like, man, this is his calculator. Like, who are you to tell him about his calculator?
Exactly.
It's just crazy, man. The dude is.
So he's using some other guy's system. Then he's not even. This isn't even his. It's some other guy's.
No, it's not his. Yeah, it's not his calculator.
Yeah, when he's sitting there typing in the thing, jiggling behind the desk and stuff, you know, whatever he's doing. Yeah, that's not his, man. He quick, and he should be thankful. He should be appreciative. Again, it shows you his unappreciation, and that's the same unappreciation these followers should realize that he has for them. And if they say, well, how do you know that's true? Well, look at the way he treats people that disagrees or asks them question. So, you know, that's how if somebody says, oh, you're just saying that about Zach. Well, ask people that have questioned him, and you'll see the truth of that. So it's not me saying it. It's like, hey, just have any type of falling out with him. I had a falling out with him because he attacked. He couldn't understand. Right. And I'm still not angry with him. I don't hate the guy. I'm not going to let myself get consumed by that. I think it's funny.
Right.
He's just,
Yeah.
yeah, right. He just
Yeah.
another character in the circus. That's
Yeah.
all he
That's
is. You know, it's
yeah,
like
it's like
he's entertainment to me, basically.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
entertains.
very
It's another grifter that takes advantage of people who are in a sad situation. You know what I mean?
And
That's
that
the
yeah.
same
karma,
playbook.
yep, and that karma comes back. That karma comes back to them, you know. But people now they know. Now they got a place where they could say, "Oh, okay, this is how I detected. Oh, I
Hmm.
listen for the details, watch for the scripts, observe the response." That's a big one. Observe
Yeah.
his response to questioning when he's challenged. Right? If you challenge somebody that's a truth teller, they just easily can add more details to the story to explain it. To say, "Okay, this," and they'll go over stuff. They'll repeat stuff in a way that a person can understand. Liars often deflect. They repeat the same story or they fail to provide specifics. So, and they'll blatantly lie. The fact that he blatantly lied when Topsy brought up what he said about his mother, and he goes, he didn't say that. And I'm like, okay, now, you know, I didn't want to open up YouTube, you know, and all of that because, you know, I'm on StreamYard. So when we were streaming, I said, let me check it. Let me listen to this. Now I knew Topsy is not going to lie about this. I mean, why? What's the motive for that? Don't make
Yeah,
sense.
but that's an extreme thing to say about your mom. So anyone would be skeptical of something like that actually being true.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I will understand if anybody questioned that.
Yeah.
But all you got to
And
do is just go see it yourself.
exactly. And that's what, you know, me being a truth seeker, I'm like, okay, it's not a big thing. I usually don't open the YouTube window because, you know, I only have like maybe 2 or 3 windows open, like for facts and stuff like that. But I said, let me just check it. I muted, you know, and so I could check it. And then I was like, he said it right in the beginning. I was like, wow, I mean, really messed up. I said, this guy is on a very low frequency vibration, like very, very low, and for him to say that was really messed up. And then it, to make it even worse, was the way he so quickly lied about it. He so
Yeah,
quickly, see,
yeah,
that's something I might have to take a clip of that. And man, I don't want to, like, because you know how YouTube be kind of strict, you know, always have me nervous and doing
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, they always, I mean, I had to go to YouTube school, man, and you know they make you like do all this things, and then I did all of the rules. I said, okay, I'm you know gonna abide by the rules, and
yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, that would be great. Somebody could use my clip if they want, where he says no, he didn't say that, and then play where he says that. So back to
And,
back, like, oh, he
and
didn't
if
say that, boom, he's saying
it
that.
and
You know,
if it was a joke, why not just own it? Like you wouldn't if you actually were joking about that, you wouldn't deny it. You would just
yeah,
own it because you know that you didn't really mean it. But to actually say that you didn't say that,
yeah.
that means that when you said it, you meant it.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, and it was very malicious, man. I was just like, man, how could yeah, Sven says Count Zacula, the show must go on. Yeah, it's my favorite comedy, man. He's a comedian. He's basically a comedian, man. His You observe, you know, his response to any question, and then we see that his response is to shame the person, is to say that they're a hater, and that says a lot. It's because the liars are deflecting. That's a deflection tactic, just to put it on the person questioning. So instead of answering the question, you're saying no, they're going to deflect. That is the red flag right there. Sometimes, you know, we can miss these things, but as we train our minds to look for this and to spot it, we become much stronger, and we become harder to lie to. So person will think twice, and now we know, you know, we've enhanced ourselves to be like, oh yeah, yeah, go ahead, lie, and they'll stop, and they'll be like, okay, which also gives an indication that they could be lying, because they'll have that pause. The unexpected questions, when you hit them from the peripheral, from the side, you know, what did you do right after that? You know, what was this like? Did you predict it before or after? You know, stuff like that. That hits them too, because liars have to work much harder to keep their story straight while appearing calm. And this is why Zach gets uncalm. This is why he gets irate, because liars can't stay calm most of the time. You know, you have different grades of liars. Zach is kind of a low grade liar when you trigger him. He's good when you don't squeeze him, because he'll come out and the numbers, and he'll be jiggling, cracking out behind the desk, and then this number, that number. But once you start pressuring him, that's when you say, wow, this guy ain't as mentally strong as I thought he was. He's kind of, well, he's a shill. That definition of shill fits him so perfectly, man. When y'all told me to look it up yesterday, I saved it. I was like, wow, this is, I've heard the term before, but I never properly looked it up. And I was glad, I think it was Badger, and you were telling me, check it out. And IAM says, in the clip, Zach says he's tired of being left hanging by his own community, and adds, I'm sorry, guys, but you aren't worth it anymore, despite making comments like, holy smokes.
Yeah, he always does this, man. And this is the same community that sends him money and just all type of support. They always support this dude. And that's him right there. Like that's what he thinks of them. And yet they still follow him.
Wow. That is crazy. That's like abusive, man. Wow. But now they got the tools, how to detect a liar, listen for those details, watch the scripts, observe the response to questioning. You use the cognitive approach. The cognitive approach that, the liars have to work harder to appear calm. So say things to trigger them. And once they get triggered, boom, you can increase this mental workload to spot deception. You start laying it on them. They can't take the heavy questions, unexpected questions. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He talking about he got left hanging by the community. Bro, you've made millions off of this community, but you got left hanging? Come on, man. And that money that you made off of the community, you promised the community that you would set up a Gematria Fake news studio and that you would hire someone, and you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You lied and you pocketed the money, and you took some of the money and you financed your wife's career, who cares nothing about this community, but the community left you hanging though. Like, it's crazy, and they stay dedicated to him, man. He could say crazy stuff like that, and they won't budge.
Yeah, they're in a strict form of mind control, to where it's just I don't know what it's going to take to break it, but some of them, he'll do something. He'll push it to that limit. I mean, it's kind of like the people that still put the MAGA people with the Trump. It's like, they just, you see the stuff. It's like, wait a minute. So he said he wasn't going to start no new wars, and they're like, oh well, immediate unicycle. And I'm like, wow, they can't even admit. Yeah. I'm like, holy smokes. And it's a lot of videos out. I mean, this dude, he be doing the videos, the good liars. And I'm not a Democrat or I don't vote. I'm like, this is all criminal stuff. And it's like the MAGA thing. MAGA Mike left the Trump thing. He still stayed MAGA when a couple of his army buddies got killed, or his military buddies. And he was like, I've had it with Trump, this and that. But I know it's hard for him to break the control. And then they put in the replacement thing and all of that, and they prey on a person's insecurity to divide them. And that's when they bring in the color thing and all of this stuff. And I'm like, wow, these guys behind the scene are extremely high level psychology.
Yep.
Extremely. But MAGA Mike, he made strides. He said this stream woke him up, and he wasn't, for the MAGA movement. He still got the name on there. He's gonna swatch. I have a feeling he's gonna
you know what MAGA stands for, right?
The Make America Great Again.
Yeah, that's what they tell us. But MAGA is actually it's the highest degree of the Church of Satan. You can look that up. MAGA is the highest degree. I think I'm saying that right. It's like the highest degree you can reach in the Church of Satan. MAGA.
Let me see. You want me to type it in? You want me to check it?
Well, that sounds interesting. What should
I type it in as? MAGA. Yeah. The highest degree of Satan is MAGA, or MAGA?
Oh, the highest degree of the Church of Satan.
All right. The highest degree.
That would fit.
That would fit. Trump's always doing that 666 sign when he makes his speeches.
I'm gonna ask it a question like instead of saying the highest, I'm gonna say is the highest degree of the Church of Satan MAGA because sometimes the AI be bugging out. Oh snap! I typed in is the highest degree of the Church of Satan MAGA, and it says yes.
Look at that. Look at that. Good job, Topsy.
Smokes. Wow.
Bringing knowledge, man. Bringing knowledge.
Bringing knowledge, man. Topsy's bringing knowledge, man. So anybody, please, if you type this in, holy smokes, man. Holy smoke. It says yes. Is MAGA part of the title for the highest degree in the Church of Satan, specifically the 5th degree, the organization's highest rank? Wow, carries the title of Magus for men and MAGA for women. Holy, so it's the woman Satan thing. If I'm reading it correctly, Church of Satan degree of hierarchy. This is crazy. Holy smokes. So the 1st degree active member, Satanist, 2nd degree witch or warlock, 3rd degree priest or priestess, 4th degree magistra or magister, 5th degree is MAGA or Magus. Holy smokes.
There you go, man. There you go.
That's why I think they like it's like they're really slick with this stuff, man. They really know how to get you to recruit you without you actually like knowing what you're being recruited to.
Yep. That's why I say, MD, all the time. It's like we got to research the Bible too, and we got to keep an open mind because it's just reality, man. This is the reality of the world we're living in. It's a spiritual battle. It's a wickedness, it's
yeah. I mean, I think if MAGA Mike, like how MAGA Mike is saying the white Christian thing, and this is something I understand, people will easily, they might not even believe it, but the oldest Bible, the oldest 66 books, and there's more than that too, is in Ethiopia. It comes from Ethiopia. That's a black country. I mean, these people, actually an extremely like rich history, African country. And
Jesus never preached race. It was never about race.
Yeah, it was never about race, man. It just, I'm like, if he looked that up, if MAGA Mike would have looked that up, and I know it could come as a shock to him to be like, wait a minute, Christianity is originally a black religion. It's like, you look at, and I'm not religious, you're more religious, Mr. X.
I think it'd be more Middle Eastern, though. I think it'd be more Middle Eastern.
Yeah, more Middle Eastern, but you look at
it's not white Christian. It's not white European Christian. That's for sure. That's not the origins of it.
It definitely,
ultimately, does it matter? No, but it's not tied. The whole European version of it is based on the reign of Constantine during the Roman Empire.
Yeah, exactly, man. It just, And Samuel says, do you think Milana's trans? Honestly, man, at my personal opinion, I don't think they're women. I think all 3 of his so-called wives are dudes with long hair. And people might, they try to rag on Obama and all of that. And I don't think, there's a mystery with all of these presidents and their wives and stuff. It goes deep. That rabbit hole is so deep. Personally, people think, when I bring it out, sometimes a little too much. So, but they just, I don't trust none of them. Obama was much cool. When you look at Obama's presidency compared to this, there's no comparison. The man is of excellent character compared to Trump. But yes, he does have his shortcomings. I was like, man, how are you going to kill Gaddafi? Gaddafi was building a black infrastructure, an African infrastructure. I'm going to do a stream on that. I actually wrote a guy today. He made a raw video on that, about how Gaddafi was, actually, and this is something that deals with the architects of humanity, that Gaddafi, I think, tapped into an ancient Nubian aquifer that is across the entire northern part of Africa. Now, the Nubians seem to have tapped into this thousands of years ago, but they don't want to give credit to that. And this is how Gaddafi knew, because this is in ancient scriptures and stuff like that. Not really religious scriptures, but more documentation. And like Book of the Dead, and you look at a lot of Egyptian stuff, These are more documentations with extreme
Mhm.
knowledge. So the fact that he said he was going to make the desert green through this giant aquifer, and anybody can look up these things. They can see the giant, pipelines being built. And when Obama, Hillary was the one that pushed that, because she was battling. That's the crazy thing. She was battling to become the Democratic nominee against Obama, and he shut her down. And then he shut down Mitt Romney. And he became. They put him in place because ain't nobody becoming president off of your vote.
I guarantee Obama had nothing to do with that decision. Neither did Hillary.
Yeah, probably not. But the thing is, the fact that they destroyed that. What I'm going to mention in the documentary or the stream I'm going to do on it is that it's similar to what happened to these black towns in America that were self-sufficient, that were created in America, that will burn down by racism. See, this is the thing that I would hope Mega Mike looks into this, because it's all about education. I'm not attacking anybody. Oh, that's, no. If a person like Daryl Davis, the brother that has been to Klan cross burnings, and from his understanding and talking with these guys in the Klan, high level wizards, he collects the uniforms when they leave the Klan. He says he has over 100 uniforms. And it's like, that's a win. To say, oh, you were a Klan member, and because we spoke to you and showed you how the truth really works and that people were deceiving you, and now you're going to leave the Klan, and wow, now that's some growth. Johnny Lee Clary was the wizard of the Klan in America, the entire nation. He used to be the bodyguard for David Duke. And then after David Duke was running for politics, I think he became the Grand Wizard for Oklahoma, and he exposed it. He goes, look, this is how it works. He goes, every state has their Grand Wizard, and then the nation has a Grand Wizard. And I think at the time he was the bodyguard for Duke, Duke was the nation's Klan Wizard. And then when Duke ran into politics, that's when I think he became the Oklahoma, and then he rose to the entire nation. Now, I mean, big things kicked off. They try to put him away. They put other guys away. He told the whole story. Now he preaches in a black gospel church down south. I mean, he's like, hey, you know what? That whole stuff was all based on hate. And it's just like when Dietrich Bonhoeffer came. And I'm not a proponent of any church in America, any type of mosque or, but hey, if it helps somebody, great, Just be careful, because we know that the priests be straight butt pirates, and it doesn't matter what color, but yeah, they just be preying on dudes, man, be crazy. But yeah, I'm looking at this Magus thing. This is crazy. And they're all
It's all a satanic cult. Good job, Topsy. This is what I've been saying.
I actually got that from Zach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a Zach farm.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's the originator of it, but I got that from Zach.
Yeah, and I'll give the guy credit where credit's due. He does got knowledge. He told me about the 911 created in 1968. Now, we could have found that, but I appreciate that. It's like how you said, sports gematria is fair. You know what I'm saying? He's going to give him his credit. And that's the way to do it, to say, look, if we were just being unfair and attacking him, we would hide that information. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. So we're showing how honest we are. We're saying, look, man.
It's just about holding him accountable, man. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
We're all about truth over here. We don't care. If it's true, we love it.
It's not a hate campaign, man. It's just holding you accountable, because if you just let Zach tell the story, man, it's a lot left out. And people need to know, so there is no deception. Because again, man, like your whole persona is about holding the elites accountable for their lies and deception. But you have some lies and deception about you too. So I just don't, that doesn't make sense to me. You can't be all about upholding the truth and acting like you got so much moral ground to stand on, but you got some skeletons in your closet, bro. So for me, it's like the whole story needs to be told, so people can draw their own conclusions when it comes to you. And I wouldn't have, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to me if he didn't do things like how he attacked you for no reason, and you're not the first person he's done that to. Like, just attack people for no reason, simply because like they got their own mind. They don't think they're not lockstep with everything that you think and believe.
Mhm.
That's the issue I have with him, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, like fair is fair. I
Mhm.
got that from Zach. I
Yeah.
learned that from Zach. I'm not sure who he learned it from, but I learned that from him.
Mhm.
Well, that shows a lot of your character, Topsy. That you're you know what I'm saying. That you're an honest guy. You're gonna be upfront about everything. So that's good.
Yeah, I try to be, man. I try to be, and that's just my whole issue is that because when I was first introduced to him, like I thought a lot of him, man. I thought a lot of this dude, bro. Like I thought
Hmm.
he was an upholder of the truth, and he's all about like like holding the elites accountable. And he's trying to like get people to wake up and see the light. But then like certain things start playing out, man. It's like, and then it builds up and it comes to a head. And it's like, man, it the disappointment drives me to hold him accountable because I used to hold him in such high regard, and just the disappointment drives it for me to just hold him accountable, man. And that's it, man. Nothing
Right,
crazy.
that's a normal part of life, though. I mean, MD's been through it so much. He has a million stories of people who, what I mean, that you've been trusted in the beginning and they just turned. And it's just, this is normal, man. I've experienced it myself. Everybody does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We've been through it, man. They just the trolls was coming out of everywhere, and they did the same exact thing Zach's doing. They try to intimidate, they try to threaten, they try to slander, they try to say, oh, you know, tell us that what we're doing ain't right, and it's like, all right, it's like no problem, and they all fell. They all fell. I never got to talk to Tate, but I talked to his homeboy, the self-hating guy Myron Gaines, and
Okay.
there was a few others that and this was before they was big, and then he even jerked. They Kevin Samuels had put them on, and I remember they were streaming on the same time slot, and Samuels was like, look, don't support them, and he's the one that got him into that big slot. And I was like, wow. I said, they just very untrustworthy people. um, and now I'm seeing it with Zach, like on a scale that, wow, I didn't even think it still existed like that. Yeah, he has the stream. He has the stream now because he can't stream this stream. I was thinking of making it to where he could, but I said there's really no sense because it's like, was he really? I mean, he knows he can come on here. The link is pinned to the chat, but I think he's scared. It's like when Badger was on last night and Cuts. He ain't, man. He would. It wouldn't have been good. He can't deal with the truth that Topsy's bringing. When Topsy was telling him, he lied. He lied. He buckled, man. But thank you for letting me know, bro. Yeah, multitasking. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, multitasking as usual. Yeah, he has a community drop and many connections, so he receives a lot of great info. But he may claim the knowledge is so. Yeah, he tries to claim it. Yeah, he can't. It's not his. He's presenting it to us, and we give him credit. Okay, hey, you're the first one that I heard that from. It's like me getting the knowledge from Topsy. Topsy saying he got it from Zach. We know Zach got it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? He might be part of that Church of Satan thing. Like doing some real evil stuff. It's like, you know, other people I could see getting that knowledge just through research. Zach, I gotta automatically put him in the suspicious category. He's guilty until proven innocent. He ain't no innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
He's shown us, yeah, that he's not trustworthy. So it's not about you know it's not about being like anything where we're prejudging him or anything. We're saying, look, we're showing your track record. We got to be careful and trusting what you're saying.
For sure.
Whitechapel Ghost Videos, good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure, man. Yeah, we got, a lot of stuff changed. The gematria thing, we've been having a little back and forth with some people about truth and different things. But yeah, I didn't know that the MAGA thing was dealing with the Church of Satan. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody that types in, let me just copy and paste it because this is what I typed into Google. If anybody types this into Google, they will see that it'll come up as is the highest degree of the Church of Satan, MAGA, and it says the fifth degree, the highest degree as far as that. And I guess if they go deeper, they'll see a lot. Like in one part, it said the magus was for men, but I think the magus for men and the magus is for women. Because
Yeah.
later on, because it has it like reversed and then it comes back to the other way, and it shows how it predates modern political slogans. So they can't say that it came afterwards. It was before, and that's what they took it from. And then they could lie and say, "Oh no, we didn't." It's like, yeah, you ain't take it from that, right? It's like, all right, we already
Right.
know your track record for lying, and that was that Anton LaVey. Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy. And we showed the picture with him and Andrew Tate on the similarities, on like if they was like recreating it. I don't know if you ever saw when we showed that. Um, I
No, I
don't
don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, I had the pictures uploaded. Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, because it's funny, the ones that I delete, because StreamYard you can only hold so many pictures. Let me see. Andrew Tate. Yeah, Tate. Let me see. Tate. If it's still Tate LaVey. Dag. Where did I have that put? So the Tate LaVey picture, because I had another one with LaVey's daughter and Trailer Swift. Trailer Swift was looked just like his daughter. I mean, it's God damn it, man. StreamYard telling me I got too much stuff uploaded. Let me delete some of this stuff. See, that's the thing, man. Always rock that. Yeah, I had to make the thumbnail. I had to put Zach in the lie detector chair, getting tested for
Yeah.
them lies, man. So I figured the thumbnail, he probably got mad at the thumbnail. That's probably what it was. But hey, it is what it is, man. You gotta realize, like, look, man, you can't be bullying everybody all of the time. People are gonna say, look, I've had enough, and that
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna fight back, and this is Anton LaVey, and look at the similarity between LaVey and Tate.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they do look alike.
It's like they fashioned him just the way they fashioned MAGA from the Satanism. They
Right.
fashioned Tate from the LaVey, and it goes even deeper. The dude who did this zoomed in on the side of Tate's face and Anton, and they have the same two birthmarks
Yeah,
on
that's
the
crazy.
side of the face. And I was like, wow. So yeah, man, this is Tate LaVey. It's like they use these things to like it hits people on a subliminal level to
Yeah.
where they don't realize that this is happening. Let's see if I can find the Trailer Swift one. Yeah, because her whole thing Taylor. Okay, boom, I got it. All right, so this one was so now LaVey's daughter. So we got LaVey that they model Andrew Tate on, and then his daughter. I think her name. I don't know if it's Christine LaVey or whatever, but that's her on the left, and that's Trailer Swift on the right. So we have. I mean, this is not a coincidence, man. This is the fact that we got the guy who founded the Church of Satan, basically looking like basically Andrew Tate modeling himself after him, and then you got them modeling one of the biggest musical stars in the world, looking almost like basically a reincarnation of this woman. I think this woman is still alive, but this is not by mistake. This is not by mistake, man.
Yeah,
And this
they
is
look
where real truth seeking is, where there is no Patreon to sell somebody. There is no thing like that. It's saying, look, we're speculating about things and putting pieces of the puzzle together, saying, wait a minute, why do these two people look so much alike? Why is this some type of, you add this with the other picture with the MAGA, and you start to see that some serious Satanism thing is. And then we realize that what we see, like we see with the illusions, we see like we might just see something that looks like garbage, but it's casting the shadow of actually something that looks real. We see it with many different of the shadow art. The fact that somebody can make art like this with the shadows projection, and if the light it has to be shown in a certain direction. Otherwise, it's not going to show it to you like this. So that makes it even more deep. And
Yeah.
again, this is what triggered Zach when he couldn't comprehend a basic psychological puzzle, or like an inference to say, look, man, this is, different perspectives. And he's like, no, that's, that they could see all the perspectives. And that showed me so much immaturity that was still harbored within him. It just yeah, it had me really wondering about that. Like, man, how do people, for him to be that immature and for people to follow him like that, shows that they're extremely immature. They're broken, basically. They're just at a point in their lives where they were very, very susceptible to that type of control. You know,
Yeah.
Alexis says, "How dangerous is Zach really?" I would say he's dangerous. See, judging by the trolls and the way the trolls are, he's on a Jim Jones level. That's what I would say about Jack, Alexis. He's on a Jim Jones level, man. What's up, Miles? Good to see you, man. Yeah, he's on Jim Jones. Mark says, at least the original women looks fun. Yeah, man. Some of the when I look at some of the stuff, man, with this, I mean, the whole gender thing with the atrazine and them spraying the animals, how could that not affect human beings? I mean, you got male birds being found with egg sacs. You got female fish egg bound. We had did streams on that like a few years ago, and it just it's horrible that nobody cares about that. Tyrone Hayes, I give him a lot of credit for the research he's done, and the fact that he showed that this will turn a fully male frog into a female frog that is capable of reproduction is just crazy. I mean, it's just, that's science. So, even though it sounds crazy or it seems crazy, it's not crazy. It actually is just, it's almost puts a person in a state of disbelief, but it's the truth. That's how the truth is. The truth is always stranger than fiction. Truth is something where you'd be like, nah, man, I'm not sure, but hey, that's the truth, whether you like it or not. And these frogs are exhibiting that. Amphibians, they get hit by stuff and they're more susceptible. They're like an indicator, the first indicator, the canary in the mine that falls over. And they're the ones that will tell us, oh, something is wrong. Before you can smell the gas in the mine, when you see that canary fall over, you back up and get out the mine because it's odorless. The canary died. Basically, it was the detector for you. The frogs, the amphibians, their skin is permeable. So they are the ones that are the most susceptible to any type of pollutants in the environment showing up through what happens to them when they grow extra legs and stuff like that. That's why I say that there's something experimenting on all of us, basically. And,
Psychopaths, man. Crazy
yeah.
people run the world.
Yep, straight psychopaths. Exactly. That's the best way to put it, man. And this is why it usually, see, if I think if the psychopaths weren't running the world, people like Zach and other grifters like Tate and them, they would be shut down. They would never get to the status that they're at. They would never get to that because people would shut them down long before that. But we see that corruption is allowed to survive, and it festers and it grows to the point where we see it in the White House. This chick was making videos. She called it the white supremacy house. It was hilarious. And she's a white lady. So, you got people that are seeing through this stuff, and it doesn't matter what color you are. They're saying, look, man, good doesn't have a color. Bad doesn't have a color. It comes in all shades, all sizes, all genders. That's what it is. It's the reality of it. But with the detecting the truth, how to detect the truth, I'll reiterate on it so people, this is something that will help you. This is something that allows your mind to grow in a strong direction to say, hey, I'm not going to try to catch the liar. The most efficient strategy is establishing checkable reality, establishing a truth that can be checked, and empirical evidence. So something that can be observed, measured, repeated. So focus on the words. You focus on the words. You listen for the details. Truthful accounts are rich in details, right? Fabricated stories are vague. They purposely avoid verifiable facts. We see this with quackery. So we see that plain as day. The scripts, always running a script. He got the calculator, typing it in while he's cracking out behind the desk to be like, oh, this number, that number. Always trying to do that to give the illusion of legitimacy. So he's trying to make it legitimate. Like, look, man, I typed into this thing, and I'm playing with some type of foot pad while I'm doing it, and hey, so look, it must be true. It must be true. I am says Zena Anton's. Oh, that's the daughter. Yeah, Zena, not Christian. Married Nicholas Shrek, which means fright.
Wow.
That dude, yeah, Shrek, the dude. Like, they have an interview on YouTube. He's a creepy dude, man. And I think they I don't know if they left the church, but which means fright, terror, or fear. Shrek is a Yiddish derived word of the same meaning. Holy smokes! Thank you, Iam. Thank you for that knowledge, man. Yeah, because they got an interview with the two of them on a talk show. It looks like it's from the 80s. Why is Justin Waller telling men to shame white women who date non-whites? Why are these men so angry at their own women? It's a type of insecurity, man. The guys, any guys that have anything to say about who a woman dates are insecure. One, about themselves, and two, about the fact that they can't get those women. The good-looking white guys and all that, they ain't complaining because they too busy smashing. It's only these guys who, when you look at them, you see straight out of Deliverance, the inbred level, that why would a woman want to date them? So it's only those guys, Justin Waller, these other guys. These are not the top of the echelon. These are the lower part. These are the guys that they throw away, basically. It's like when somebody is breeding dogs or something, and you got the runts of the litter or something that, matter of fact, it's not even that. It's more on the deformity level. And they're like, nah, we can't let this breed. It's going to mess up the genome. There was a white lady that made a good point. She said, racist white men would rather see them not alive than date somebody who isn't white and be happy. So that holds a lot coming from a white woman to say, again, that racist white men would rather see them not alive, or rather see white women not be alive than seeing them date a person that isn't white and be happy and have children and have a family. This is the hatred that can infect people on all sides. So this is not just restricted to white males, but it can hit anybody. But what we're seeing it in, like you're saying, Alexis, we're seeing it from guys like this guy constantly doing the hate. I think Zach streams at the same time so his followers don't watch the channel. Yeah, I mean, hey, he could do, I think he probably does, man. I think he probably does.
Obviously they do watch, right? Because they're in the chat.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, they definitely and the fact that he's saying, all of the stuff about us is just giving us a promotion, really.
Yeah.
And see, I didn't Google this guy, Justin Waller. All right, I'll tell you in a second what looks there. Salute, Jesus Rogelio. Good to see you, man.
It seems miserable though to have that type of hate on your heart though. To the point where like you rather than be dead. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. Like, I'm glad I don't suffer from that. That type of hate seems like misery.
Oh, wait, Justin. Okay, so this is the dude that plays to be a dating coach. Yeah, he's not a Chad, Alexis. And I'll tell you right now.
I've never seen him, but
yeah, the problem with him is he got that inbred look. Now, and I'm not making fun of him. This is a description. If you look at him, he's got an inbred look. And another thing is, this is, like I said before, people thought, they've told me, look, I thought you were crazy, whatever. But then I saw what you said came to be true. This dude ain't straight. This dude is not straight. This is a guy that does not like women. He's a butt pirate. This is not a heterosexual male. And most of the hate that comes from what would be called males against women are not straight males. A straight male ain't going to spend time hating on women because he's trying to clap cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to clap cheeks. He's like, look, man, this is what it's about. What you want to complain or you want to smash? And this dude, also takes steroids, so he ain't trying to look good for women. There's a point, women have said this. We've had women on the show. There's a point where when you exercise that you're not being more attractive to women, you're being more attractive to other dudes who ain't hetero. So
Fact.
yeah, an athletic build, women are more attracted to that. When you start getting into this crazy, the fakeness, that's not what most of them want, man. The women that are like on that are already so superficial. They've already become Nightmare on Sperm Street. So we know that. But when you look at this guy is a very, very weird guy, man. Yeah, this guy is not yeah, he is beady, like the beady eye syndrome, and nothing against people with beady eyes, but it's showing you that this is why he, yeah, man. You look at him, it's like Alexa says, "You're correct, MD." So you do know this guy. Why does he keep pushing white replacement theory? Because that's what they sell. They sell
Yeah.
hate. You can't sell the dating because they don't know nothing about women, and women don't like them. So yeah, he beady eyed. Yeah, I didn't know his name, but when you said his name, because I've seen him around with Clavicular in that video with Nick Fuentes and Sneeko and Tate and his brother. Tate and his brother, both of them are closet. Both of them are closet. And easily to detect the truth. I think his brother just got caught trying to talk to a 16-year-old dude a couple of months ago. Yeah, they exposed him for that. These dudes, Nick Fuentes, they caught him with a Grinder profile or something like that.
I just saw a video with that Sneeko dude doing like some really zesty, like he was like, I don't know, he had like the eyelashes and the makeup, like he was doing some really like feminine like movements. It was looking pretty crazy.
I could see him becoming a trans Nico. I could see him becoming.
He probably is. He probably will be going in that direction. Sneeko's already he's already been just totally. Yeah.
And the whole white replacement theory thing is so stupid because what women are we talking about? I guarantee you they're only thinking of one type of woman, attractive women. If they're not attractive, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Then you can have sex with whatever you want to. It's like, it's just stupid. The whole thing. Yeah.
Jesus says white women don't seem to like Zach. White women that don't like white dudes is like that's the canary in the mine on you're dealing with the lower class white dude. So when white women don't like them, that tells you a lot. And this goes into black women too. When black women are very, very picky about black men, they'll go for the good looking guy, the athlete and all of that, but they'll like be very mean to the other guys. And you see it with white women too. So like I said, it's not regulated to color, but yeah, I don't think any women seem to like Zach, even his wife. It's like, it just, again, he's a housewife. Zach is a housewife. He might as well wear his dress. And, we see him all the time. Nothing wrong. Well, I guarantee you he didn't get a DNA test for that kid. That's probably not his genetic daughter. It's like I said before, he's a cuck. MAGA Mike says, Justin Waller is one of my guys. I follow. Nice, y'all bring him up. Man.
Man, you need help.
MAGA Mike, man. Why are you following dudes? That's what I'm saying. It's like, come on, MAGA Mike. Why are you and then beady-eyed deliverance looking dudes? It's like, come on, man. You can't see through it, bro. Just the way you saw through the Trump thing, you're gonna see through this. And this is another thing. Oh my goodness.
Boy, Mike, man. Time to come out of the closet, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, he took it a step further with that comment. That's great.
Mr. X be on point, man. It's like, yeah, he's not Chad, bro. MAGA Mike, man. And soon you're gonna change your name. I know you're gonna wake up, man. I have a feeling, man. His face, you know what he got? If you look at his face, he got the Skeletor look. He got that Skeletor look with the beady eyes. So, and this is a description. I'm not dissing him. This description. And he don't get girls, man. You trying to say, look at his social media. He's angry at white women. They're not betraying you. A woman going with who she wants to be is not betraying you. And there is no saving a race. There is no races, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You look at people, You got what, 60% people, right? I mean, this is a tactic. 60% of the people in the U.S. is white. It used to be 70, I think. So you're in like what, the 60 something percentage, and you think about that. You don't let them grift you with this race thing, man.
Yep.
Mike, if put it this way, Mike, let me show you a logic. If white women were throwing themselves at you, you would never be saying none of this. You would
Yes.
never be saying. You'd be too busy smashing. But and I find it funny when these people are gonna like who they're gonna like. And I tell guys, I'm like, listen, opposites attract. So when you see these pretty white women that are going with guys that are different ethnicities, sometimes it's because they've been mistreated by these so-called good guys who people think are good that are white. You see a lot
Yeah.
of abuse, and then it's like, hey, oh, the other people are taking their woman. Ain't nobody taking your woman. Your woman is given, and it's not your woman to begin with. It's her. She's her own woman, and she's giving herself to the guy. That's what it is. Max, he says, Max, our people were 40% of the world population. No, they were not, man. In the
20% now? His math is way
40%.
off.
You might think, how? Now we're less than 20. How is this not an example of replacement? It is not replacement, man, because one, it was not 40% of the world population. You got a billion Indian people and more than a billion Chinese people, right? You got mad Arabs. You got a ridiculous amount of different people all throughout. Look at the North America. Look at Africa. They don't like to talk about that. Africa and Australia. Australia was a black continent. The Aborigines of Australia, them dudes from the Crocodile Dundee, there's 1% of those people left, bro. There's no black people on Tasmania, but that's not genocide. So if you look this stuff up and now you're trying to preach to me that, what about Australia, man? You're trying to preach like, oh, people are being bred out. Yes, they're letting immigrants in at an astonishing rate into Europe, into Western Asia, because Europe is not a continent. That's Western Asia. That's why they call it the Western world. And they had to separate it to make people form a group that they can control. They call themselves Europeans. Europeans is not, it's just like white. It's like, where is the line of whiteness between Europe and Asia? They try to say the Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains run from east to west. It doesn't separate. The Ural Mountains run from north to south. And even that is deep into Russia. So I wonder, it's like, oh, so they don't consider the Czechoslovakians, they're not white enough, right? The Lithuanians and stuff like that. But funny enough, the prettiest white girls come from those areas, right? So it's like, makes you think, it really makes you think. You're not saying that there ain't no pretty girls from, Western Asia. There's a lot of pretty French girls and Spanish and stuff. Yeah.
In the real world, you can find pretty women in all races. That's the real world.
Yeah, I see pretty in all colors, all creases. Yeah, definitely pretty. Again, pretty don't have a color. It's a structure that if you put any color on that structure, she's still going to look beautiful.
Yeah.
And this is where, these guys that preach this, again, if we use How to Detect the Truth, we use that, we start to see, okay, why is this guy so mad? Like, look at Eminem, right? When I say that, okay, nothing against him personally or these rappers, but when you see that somebody got women like just trying to get to them and you never see them with women, and then you see them always complaining about women, that raises the red flag. You're like, this dude ain't straight. That's Dr. Dre's, look up Dr. Dre's. Let me see if I got this picture, man. We're going to get raw. Dr. Dre's so-called wife, husband. Yeah, you're going to be like, holy smokes, if I save this. I had a feeling I saved it. I was showing it to Scribe not too long ago, and we were laughing about it. And it was just, man, I forgot where I saved it.
But I'm really thankful for Topsy for bringing that up, because if it's true that MAGA is what it is, it's a satanic high order, then this whole situation with Israel and what's going on there, we can really predict the future, see where things are headed. Because that's supposed to be where the third temple is supposed to be built, and maybe they're just making room for it. Who knows what the real deal is? What's really going on in this world?
Yeah, yes. I don't know. I would be shocked if that was coincidence. You know,
Mhm.
with the whole MAGA movement, I just feel like that's definitely like that's the true purpose for pushing that word MAGA.
I think so. I really think so. I mean, whenever Trump talks, he'd use the 666 symbol. I think in his right hand. He always has, his thumb and his index finger together. Always has
Yeah,
it like that.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that's a sign. They always give out a hand gesture. Always. Even the Bushes used to do the back of that side. Every president did. Even the Clintons. Don't matter, Democrat or Republican. Doesn't make a
Mhm.
Yep.
difference.
Yeah, I definitely think they worship like Satan, I guess, or the devil, some type of
Mhm.
evil entity. I think they worship.
Yeah, and this is just about living in reality. That's my whole preaching is let's live in reality, guys. Let's live in the real world.
Mhm. And I got to thank Iam for bringing this fact up. New Zealand Maori, 13 to 15%, right? So like all of them have been killed off, MAGA Mike, right? This was not, you look at New Zealand. And who is New Zealand run by? Terrorists. Australia's run by terrorists. These are terrorists, but they try to say, oh no, other people are. These are the terrorists. And yeah, there's no 100% Maori alive today. Absolutely. But with
That's
the
crazy.
with yeah, with the transvestigation thing, I mean, y'all could make the comparison yourself, man. I'm just presenting the evidence. And this right here, tell me, look at Dr. Dre with his homeboy before and look on the bottom with him and the wife. You tell me that's not the same person after a sex change? I mean, this is my personal
Yeah, that,
opinion.
that is kind of crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, this is I mean,
That don't even look like a girl, man. That's supposed to be his wife.
yeah, exactly. And if you look up the pictures of him and his wife, I think they're divorced now, but bro, it got even that same person that looking like the dude on the top. There is crazy pictures where it's like Butch City. Like this is it's just, I'm just presenting the evidence, man. I'm
Mhm.
just stating the obvious. Yep. Looks scary. Yep. It's like, matter of fact, let me find a picture of the Tyson does speak. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find because I had a picture. Let me see. I'll see if I got the because I typed in Dr. Dre wife husband and yeah, it ain't. And I mean, they got all these chemicals and stuff like that. So it's like, having if they say, oh, they see that the person has like breast or something, it's like, well, what do you see the trannies with that? I mean, this is basically what they here. I'm trying to save this, but this is basically what they push, man. Yeah, this is straight up a dude, man. This is like, I mean, the people might say, oh, well, uh man, I don't even know how. There's nothing I can really say to try to defend this, man. And then they'll say, oh, well, they have a child, right? People can adopt children, right? And they try to say,
Right.
oh no, I saw the person as they were pregnant and this and that. Trying to find a picture that,
When they got money like that, they can get a surrogate mother.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. They can get a surrogate and they have the fake pregnancy thing. I don't know if you've seen people getting caught out there with the fake pregnancy, where they
Yeah.
show, yeah,
And I was gonna say all these white replacement theory guys just get a surrogate mother, save up your cash, and start having babies.
yeah. Well, see,
I
that's
mean,
the thing. They are at the point where the chicks don't want to have kids with them.
oh
They
no, they pay for it though. They
Yeah,
pay
and
surrogate. Yeah.
this, even the surrogate, it's like, I don't think it's like surrogates. It's like they, if they look deep into it, they have, it's a self-hatred. So it's a hatred of self, and then it's it's a hatred of the opposite sex. Well, not the opposite, it's the complementary sex, really.
Don't you
um
think it's also entitlement too? A little bit of entitlement, like
Extreme entitlement.
yeah.
Extreme entitlement. They'll say that privilege doesn't exist, but like I said before, when you look at Obama, and I'm not a political supporter of anyone, you see a man speaking in an excellent form.
Oh
So
yeah.
Trump, he's like a degenerate. And I'm not saying this just because Trump is white. I'm saying, look, you look at Clinton, that dude is a master of psychology. I mean, that guy was slick. He was a crook from some people's perspective. And, you know, because I'm just staying within the guidelines. But, you know, it's like at least he had some, you know, he had some basically charisma there. You see it with Kennedy. You see it with a lot of other presidents. When you get to Trump, you see straight the deliverance level. Look, take a good look at Trump, and you'll see the inbred in his eyes. He looks like that frog that they be making the pictures of, like drinking the drink or whatever. And again, that frog's picture comes from a lot of racism. So the internet is filled with that. But again, like the stream is how to detect the truth, we can easily detect it. Yeah, the Prime Minister of France, you're so right. Matter of fact, when the Prime Minister of France, you can just make it illegal to call your wife a man. But somebody won a lawsuit calling his wife a man because there's something she checked into it, and his wife really was a man. That's a that got to change. Yeah, let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that. But French Prime Minister or something, or the French. I think it's the French Prime Minister.
Yeah, I think it is too.
And wife. And it was funny because I had let me see, was a man. You know, I'm trying to see now this is where AI, you gotta like push it, because at first it'd be like, no, the prime minister's widely spread. Let me see. Bridget Macron. Was Bridget Macron a man? All right, let me see. Because that so they're trying to say no, but somebody had won a lawsuit, I think. And they try to say it's fabricated rumors. But I think just like we showed the Dr. Dre picture, and it's kind of like, people might try to say without knowing, they'll be like, nah, man, Dr. Dre. But when I pull up the picture, it's like you look at it and you say to yourself, like, you know something? That looks like the same person after, that to me is the same person. I mean, there's other pictures. Anybody can look it up, man. Anybody can look it up. And nothing against Dr. Dre. This is just saying, look, we comparison the pictures, and we don't think this is true. We could be wrong, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, Mark. I think Australia, I mean, any place that has like a legacy of lies and stuff like that, like you seen what they did to the people with the jab. They locked them down, they put them in concentration camps. So I'm not really sure if that is that's a scary thing, actually. When Britain colonized Australia, the first people they were sent there were violent prisoners and convicts. They even criminalized people that were just poor. There was a time where it's even on the books where in Britain, the UK, and all throughout, even parts of Western Asia where Spain and France would be, it was a crime to be poor, and they would take you as a slave. There were a lot of white slaves, so people don't remember that, but they don't like to talk about it in history.
Yeah, didn't the Ottoman Empire have a lot of Irish white slaves? I think they did.
Oh yeah, big time.
Paintings of it.
The Berber pirates, the Moors, they had a lot of slaves. A lot of Slavic is where the word comes from. So
yes,
Slavic is basically a very light-skinned people. A lot of younger generation is racist now, man. It's sad. Yeah, it really is, man. It really it's so sad. And the internet, they had a robot doll years ago. I forgot, they were showing pictures of it, and they said they hooked it up to the internet, and taking the stuff from the internet, they said the thing became like a Hitler supporter or something, and it was just from the stuff it got off the net. The racism on the net is so off the handle when you look at it. It's just like
You
it's
bring up a good point there, MD. You bring up a real good point with this AI technology and what it can do to influence people is
Yeah.
kind of scary.
yeah, yeah. It really it's really sad, man, because people just trying to get along, and all they're doing is separating people. I mean, even with the shows, uh, it just, yeah, it's just like just looking at through the music and the shows, and we start to say, wow, everything here was meant to divide us and
Hmm.
conquer and keep us distracted to where we're not going to look in the direction of who's holding the thumb on us. And that's where Maga Mike, I think he's not seeing the truth because they're hitting him with all these things. If he had, I mean, I don't even know, maybe, I don't think he's married, but uh, if he had a significant other that was, you know, the woman he likes or whatever, uh, a white woman or whatever, I don't think we'd be hearing a lot of this. But even if it was another ethnicity, if he
Hmm.
had gotten if he sees a woman, right, and I'm going to put this out there as just for instance, right? So if he has a woman who say, let's just say, because he might say that doesn't like black women or something. Okay, fine. To each is his
Yeah, but
own.
he's only thinking of one type. He's thinking of the overweight ones. You know, he's not thinking
Yeah.
of attractive ones.
Well,
Yeah.
let's make it easy for him. Let's make it a light skinned Latin chick. So not even a tan Latin chick. We'll give him what he wants. All right. So we giving you a light skin because there's some very like white Latin chicks. You look at Spain and all of that stuff.
Of
You know,
course.
see blonde hair, blue eyed Spanish chicks, and so we say, okay, that's what you got. Her parents, you know, maybe she got a great grandfather or grandmother that's actually African, but you would never know. She looks basically white Spanish.
Hmm.
And you're with that girl. I don't think we'd be hearing as much about the replacement from him,
Yes.
you know. And even if she was tan, I don't think we'd be hearing much about it.
Hmm.
So
But it
it's like,
makes you wonder, what are they aiming at? Because you look at AI, it's taking a lot of jobs away. We're going to have a probably high unemployment rate in the future. It's like you're going to have a lot of angry people looking for somebody to blame.
mhm, yeah, no, you definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it makes them angry. And that's a dangerous thing when you got single men that don't have women and they get very angry. I mean,
Yeah.
this could definitely cause a problem. And because I listened to them and you know, I was able to say, okay, I'll hear out what you have to say. Just the way I'm open about hearing out about everything. How like when Topsy came on, educated me on what Zach was about. And I think that was Zach's biggest fear. His
Hmm.
biggest fear was somebody coming out and pointing me towards the truth. Because I didn't know about the other channel. I don't think a lot of other people did. Hopefully they watched it, the Sports Gematria channel.
I watched
And
bits
Yeah.
and pieces of it. Yeah.
He labels him a dedicated troll that's been screen recording everything he does for the last 10 years when that's not true. All you gotta do is just go to Sports Remarks page and you'll see that it's only been around like 5 years. Well, Zach could tell people he's been around for a decade, screen recording everything, trolling him to let him tell it. And because Zach has the following, you know, people tend to believe what he says. And all you gotta do is just watch the videos, man. You'll see Zach for what he is.
yeah,
And
if
especially
somebody
what
scream, yeah, he's the guy, the channel's just, it's like a Zach Truth channel, right?
yeah, it's
Because
like
it's like the
he
truth
doesn't
about
speak.
Zach.
Yeah, Sports Jam. Oh, you talking about Zach's page?
No, the Sports Gematria, because it just
Yeah,
tells the
yeah.
truth
He
about Zach.
doesn't speak. Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't speak a word. He just puts together. It's the videos are just a collage of Zach's own words, and the
Hmm.
word they're contradictions and hypocrisy, and it points out all of that and the fraud. It points out all of that. And he doesn't he in 145 videos, not once has he ever spoken in them. He just puts them together and just shows people like, look, these are his own words. Like it's no denying this stuff. It's him speaking, saying one thing, and then other things play out. And it's the predictions that he get wrong. Him saying that he's going to do things for the community and he doesn't do it. You know, it's just him putting together his words in a collage and let people draw their own conclusions.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It just, I tell you, I really respect that channel a lot. That dude, like, he put together some great stuff, man. I was surprised when Gigi, she was on one of the videos and she just was like, you know, just sitting on camera telling him what she thought because he called her trash or something like that. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, they, you know, yeah, it's just crazy. And you know what's funny is this is the hilarious thing. Ian says you just checked out, they going off. I think that's great, man. I think that's great. It just and that's the good thing. It's like I'm hopefully, and this is the only way that we can really teach is with stuff like this is by example. So if they're going off on me, they're saying all this stuff, right? Great, that's cool, right? That shows my character. That shows I've matured to the point where I can take the criticism, even if they say stuff that's a lie, because that's where it really tests your character. Because some people will come out and say, "Oh, that's not true." I'm like, "Hey, believe it. I don't care." I'm like, "Believe what you want to believe to other people," you know. And I'm glad that you pointed that out. Um, it's like saying, okay, you're going to believe what you want to believe. And then later on, if you grow into the truth, you'll say, wow, I was so easily deceived. And why? That's where the smart person, that's where a person's growing into smartness, where they say, why was I deceived? What did they use? What did I allow them to use? Did I have any type of bias? Was there something that I was just believing in this person so much, you know, that I would think that he would not lie to me? But anybody that comes over and listens to me or comes on the show will start to realize, like, wait a second, this guy ain't mad at anybody. He's just like, hey, you know, it's just what it is. MAGA Mike says, listen, Max, I like you, man. You woke me up to Trump, but you need to get your head out your ass and realize they are literally erasing my people. I know you aren't affected, but we are. Bro, everybody's affected. They're not erasing your people. They're telling you that. They're scaring you into believing that. If you go across the Midwest, you're going to see tons of what you consider your people. Now, yeah, they're really not your people because these are the same people that will rob you and get over on you. You think they might not, but they will. Go to a meth infected town with white people. Think they won't rob you. Think they won't get over on you. Just letting you know.
Yeah,
Just
and MAGA Mike, have some kids for crying out loud. What are you bitching about? Have some white kids.
he can't because they don't want to have kids with him. It's like Jake.
Yeah.
You know? That's the only reason they preaching that. If he had chicks that would want that,
Mm-hmm.
if chicks wanted MAGA Mike, he would never be making these comments.
That's
So
right.
it's like trying to, it's like saying, okay, if this guy, if somebody was well fed, right, then they're not going to complain about being hungry.
That's
So
true.
they're well fed. You know, if somebody's complaining, it's like, oh, you need to eat something, man. Justin Waller is preying on people's insecurity and their racism. He's not waking people up. He's a smart grifter. And he says,
Yeah.
if you are mad at that, now how am I mad at that? If I was mad, I would be saying, oh, Justin, this and that. And no, I didn't know his name until Alexis told me, and I looked it up and I said, oh, it's the inbred looking guy with the beady eyes and the Skeletor face. He's not something that is on the top echelon. And I'm not mad about that. Actually, he's mad because chicks ain't feeling him. Or what I think is he don't like women. So he's
Yeah.
open.
Call him a Chad. Come on. Call him this guy a Chad. Are you
And,
serious?
yeah, and I understand, Mike, you might think I'm a zombie. Great, that's okay. I don't know why you don't care about the true Americans going extinct to third worlders. They're not going extinct to third worlders. I don't know why you don't care about Tasmanians that have been not gone extinct. They were genocided by what would be considered the true Americans. The same what you call your people, killed off those people. But
Mhm.
you don't seem to care about that, right? You don't
Yeah,
see. This is what I'm saying. And hey, everybody knows I'm open. You can attack, say what you want. I'm gonna allow you to say what you want, because how am I supposed to be able to say what I want if I don't allow you to say what you want? You want to call me zombie, whatever, fine. These third worlders that are coming here, tell me again how you really wanted to be a taxi cab driver or pick potatoes on a farm, right? So you telling me they took away your taxi cab job? So you really wanted to be a taxi driver, right? Or you really wanted to pick potatoes or strawberries or tomatoes in a field, bro? You know what I'm saying? You are in a state of hate, and this is what Justin Waller's name is. This is what he preys on, man. This is what he preys on. You know, we don't import the third world like that, and we become the. This ain't a first world country. The fact that Flint, Michigan doesn't have drinkable water, man,
Mhm.
that tells you a lot, man. I mean, Trump is not your people. See, you woke up about Trump, right? That should let you know that all skin folk ain't kinfolk,
Facts.
right? You know, and everybody, the biggest enemy is the person that has our own complexion. Not saying that everybody's bad that looks like you or anybody that's similar. It's to say
Mhm.
that that's the one you don't see coming. If because you don't know, you might think, oh well, you know, it's not people that look like me. Nah, that's the first ones that'll get you.
That's right.
And then you know you're gonna have very good people in that category too. That's what makes life so amazing, to be like, holy smokes, I gotta keep thinking. Conscious Rising says, do we know for sure that Q Trump and the White Hat operation is fake? If JFK Jr. comes out of witness protection, could we believe satanic bankers organize crime and are being dismantled in the race? I mean, I'm not sure. I think there's something more behind the scene, especially with this MAGA being connected to the Satanism. There's
Mhm.
definitely something ugly behind the scene. It ain't pretty.
Yep.
Uh, Tycho need deed, Tico needed. Is this Tico from back? Tico train or whatever? We don't have a race problem. We have an IQ and culture problem. Yeah, you got a good point with that. We have an epidemic of stupidity. I did
Mhm.
a stream on that. You know, the laws of stupidity. Dietrich Bonhoeffer dropped it with the theory of stupidity. There's always more. You know, yep, a bunch of ball chases.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Um, the Maori were genocided by the Maori. No one cries about that. It's always very selective. Well, they weren't genocided by the Maori. They were used. Remember, it was Western Asians, people coming over from England and other countries, that were paying them to kill other Maori. So it wasn't, again, infected by greed. Just the way Zach uses greed to control people, and then the guy ended himself because of that, because of the bad decisions that Zach recommended. The Maori, genocided by Maori, it's due to like how they paid native nations to fight other native nations here. Just the way they give the Tutu and the Hutsi in Africa weapons to annihilate one another. So I'm not exonerating the Maori that killed other Maori. But I'm saying that's not the only ones responsible. The people that gave them the weapons and the means to do that, they're just as guilty as the people committing it. And we do see this. But I appreciate you bringing that out. It's always very selective. You're right. And yeah, if you want to think I'm zombified, MAGA, that's cool. I'm not zombified to the point where I didn't wake you up, though, right? About Trump. So on that, I'm not zombie, right? But I'm blind to the genocide in front of me. There is no genocide in front of me. Nobody's being genocided right now. You know who's really being attacked? The people in Ukraine and the Middle East and Iran. That the fact that they're hitting schools and you don't
Yeah.
care about that. What did the school children do to get hit with that explosive that was funded by the tax dollars that we're extorted for?
Big
Right?
facts. Big facts. Right.
So I don't think Mike is thinking about that. Are you a government plant pushing white replacement man,
Oh
or
My
why are you so oblivious? it's not that I'm oblivious and I'm not pushing a replacement theory. I'm telling you that it doesn't exist. So how am I pushing the theory when I'm saying it doesn't exist? You might say the denial of it or whatever. It's not denial. It's saying who's replacing you? Tell me again how you wanted to be a cab driver and some Middle Eastern guy took your job.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be a cab driver. You know, it's like,
Look
come
at the
on.
meth epidemic. That's what you should be looking at, Maggot Mike. That's what's really destroying
Yeah, the
people.
meth. Yeah, you should look at who's making the meth to kill what you would incorrectly call your people. Because until you get affected by one of those people attacking you or something, you might even be so far gone with cognitive dissonance that if they attack you, you might say, oh, they did that because of what immigrants are doing. It's like, this is the logic of a racist. This is a logic. And I'm not saying you're a racist, but you have racist tendencies. This whole thinking that you're being replaced is a paranoia. It's a figment of your imagination.
Yep.
Mark says the Maori weren't Maori, and when they were genocided before the British arrived. Okay, so the Moriori weren't Maori. Okay, and they were genocided before the. Wow, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that tribes don't kill each other, man. I'm not saying, but we know one thing: none of those guys are here anymore. You know, the British, and they didn't really see the wording, Mark. We know about the words. Saying the British arrived, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
When the British invaded, basically, is more of the proper way. Trump alleged he had been asked to join their ranks and look completely the part in order to get in with them and break them from the inside. Roy Cohen, Jeffrey Epstein, Trump buddied them to take them down. Really? So you really think that? You really think? Wait, let me see if I can read it. Are you saying he's not part of the Epstein thing? Or he's part? Trump buddied up to them to take them down. Evil Incorporated hates Trump. Obvious in the Epstein files. Okay, so you're telling me that this guy's, I mean, how
This
many?
is amplified there. I think he's the hero. He's the Superman.
Yeah, you know, it's like, so you don't see the pictures with Trump with these children sitting on his lap and all of that, the creepy pictures at the Epstein thing. That's, I mean, if you see any other grown man with those pictures, you would suspect them for being a PDF file, except for this guy. I'm like,
Yep.
come on, man. I mean, the delusion is just it's ridiculous. Of course, you don't care about school children because you've been taught to say what? They wish death on you. How do you know they wish death on you? Right? How do you know that, man? Have you seen videos of Iranian children, Iranian or however you say it, right? And see the fact that you say let them rot and invade, right? We're at war with those. This is what's going to fall back on you, because what's that saying? Karma's bad, but karma is the seed you plant. You reap what you sow. So if you're planting, right, that you're saying let them rot, you're the one that's going to rot. You just planted that seed for yourself. You see, Mike, this is the way karma works. Karma works in that way. Karma, what they say, for lack of a better word, and I don't like to curse on the thing, but they say karma's a bitch only if you are. So if you're not, then it won't be. History is full of one group taking out the other. It's not good, but no culture is immune. This is what we've been told, Mark. So Mr. X had mentioned this the other day. Oh, there's been killing us. That's what we've been told. If you had things in history where they were utopias, where people worked together, we would be rebelling right now. We'd be like, wait a minute, it worked before in history, so you're evil and we just need to fix it again. The evil will always perpetuate. Oh no, everybody was bad. It was always bad. So what we're bad doing to people, that's just natural stuff. That's evolution. This is why I say it's a religion for the evil. And we also see how they twist religion to the evil as well. So it's not one group taking out the other. People have worked together and built beautiful civilizations. But the monsters that are in charge doesn't want that. I mean, yeah, it does look very. I mean, I don't trust none of these politicians, man. If you ever get a significant amount of money in the future, you should use that money to fund one of the gematria decades and watch them make good on the promises he made. Yeah, yo, bro, if I make money, I'll be more than happy to fund stuff like that. I'll be more than happy. And it would, yeah, I would. Sports gematria is a good one. Matter of fact, that's what doing good is about. It's like saying, okay, I'll tell them, look, keep up the good fight. You're right. Many migrants arriving in Germany can't speak German, therefore they work at the low-paid jobs in Germans that Germans won't do. For example, Amazon night shift employees 85% migrants. Wow, I didn't know that, man. And you know what's funny is if they blame the immigrants, which yeah, okay, there's going to be crime, whatever, right? But they're not blaming the people that brought them in. They're not blaming. They won't blame the politicians or people running stuff. There's something behind the scenes that allow that to happen. I mean, when you look at immigrants in America that are doing certain jobs, they're actually benefiting the country. They're paying the taxes. Now, I'm not talking about anybody that comes here with a criminal thing, but what people forget is there's a lot of Americans who are criminals. I could pull up statistics right now, and there are tons. Every day, every day, there's more than 4 sexual assaults and murders by police officers that are illegal. You can look it up. Within 48 hours, I think there was more than like 7. And these are like, look at the sheriffs of Colorado. They just got caught having sex with a dead body, and half the department got fired. So when I look at these things of people saying, okay, it's immigrants, and I'm like, really? I'm like, you just look up the crime statistics. Look up, and what MAGA Mike and these guys were saying, it's like, look up white crime. Look at the amount of, there's a lady, she just got caught. I don't know how many years they gave her, but she was trying to sell her 9-month-old daughter or something. There's a white lady, and I don't like to put the color on it. You want to see how disgusting racism in this country is? Remember, there was a lady in South Carolina that literally strapped the 2 kids into the backseat of the car, pushed it into the lake, and they drowned. And she said it was a black dude. And they went around harassing black people until they found out it was her. Look at the guy in Boston, the white guy who offed his wife. And what'd he say? It was black people. This is how racism infects the mind. He knows people are they're going to be like, they're waiting, like MAGA Mike. They're waiting for anything to trigger them, like a lit fuse.
I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed, and before they released who it was, a lot of people was accusing a black person of doing it, and they
wow, I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. And then when it came out, what'd they say?
And they didn't have the same energy.
Yeah, they got quiet, right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's just, holy smokes, man. I tell you, racism, if people can't see that it's a mental illness and it can be used to separate, it can be used to divide and conquer people. I mean, what was it? Is it America First? They minted a coin. The Klan minted a coin back in like 65 or right around civil rights. It's like, wow, what a coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know there's no coincidences, and all you got to do is just analyze these guys. You can, and that's great because they're coming up, with all this stuff. But the topic of the stream, and yeah, he could be alive. I've heard those theories, but he might not be. Germany has an aging problem. There was a lack of Germans having babies. They needed to migrants. Okay, but you know what, too, man? I think with the chemicals, they're causing this lack of birth rate. So the chemicals and stuff like that they're hitting people with. Remember, just the way they used what would be considered, incorrectly Europeans, just the way they used certain people from some of the cultures to basically go out and invade the world and genocide many people, right? just the way they use them is just the way they use other people. And these people have served the purpose of whoever's behind the curtain or the veil, and you're seeing the expendability of it. MAGA Mike is getting a lot of propagandized, and he's worried. I mean, imagine living in fear like that. Imagine living in fear like that. This is how they control you. It's an underlying problem in the mind. Fear, hate. You know, hate basically is basically a mask worn by fear. So if you see somebody that's hateful and you take the mask off or it falls off, you see, oh, they're just afraid. They're afraid. When somebody says they hate mosquitoes, I say, no, you're afraid of mosquitoes. You don't want to be bitten. You don't hate them. You're afraid of them. And rightfully so. They might carry disease and all of that, but you don't hate them. People don't know their own what's in, you know, their own lingo. And this is why I say words are so important and how we define them. This is why they want to everybody debate or argue. No, we can have a conversation and we can learn. And I think that's, you know, the way to move forward into a good world, or create the world we want to see. Any of these liars analyze the verbal content, right? So when we see quackery and all of that, analyze the verbal content. Any of these guys request verifiable specifics. Truthful stories, you know, contain checkable anchors, names, times, records, specific sequences. Because if they fabricate a count, it tends to omit these to avoid getting caught in the lie. Liars will omit stuff so they don't get caught in their own lie. Ask an open-ended question. Liars often avoid saying, I don't know. And remember, I've said that before. You don't hear, I don't know, or I was wrong. Those are two things that liars don't like to say. So they often avoid that. And instead of that, right, they'll over-explain. They'll repeat the same rehearsed story. And listen for speech irregularities. That's another way to detect the truth or expose a lie. The sudden change in speech patterns, vocal tones, or a delay even in answering can indicate cognitive strain. So, you know, you see, oh, he's thinking, he's trying to formulate a lie because you hit him with a question that was open-ended and it triggered that. So if you utilize a cognitive approach, right, by asking, like we said before, the unexpected questions, you see the script come out. The increase, the load, the mental load, the deception requires mental effort. So you can break it by increasing the load with a heavy question, asking the person to maintain intense eye contact while answering, or ask them to draw a diagram of what happened to further split their attention. These are psychological things that you can do. And if you train yourself, you become smarter when you remember them, and you can employ them at any time you need. Establish a baseline. Note how the person normally acts when they're comfortable telling the truth. And look for deviations from this baseline. That is a good way of looking at it, such as a rigidity or a change in breathing even. You know, you see that, and then the change in breathing, they'll get a little flustered. Oh, why you ask me? Anybody can look back at the stream when Zach came on and see him cracking out. He started getting nervous, especially when he lied about the thing with his mother. It's like he sat up straight, I think, when he said that. You saw a change in body posture. He was trying to make the lie look believable, but the truth always came through. The micro expressions, you know, brief, involuntarily facial expressions, they can contradict emotion. So we see that, you know, sometimes they reveal hidden feelings. So you use a rapport with them. You create a safe environment for the liar to catch him. You use rapport, not accusations. People get defensive when they feel interrogated. That's why I didn't interrogate MAGA Mike. I presented facts. So you build a trust, making the conversation comfortable, and it naturally lowers the stakes, establishing a checkable reality. and it's more effective than directly accusing someone of lying. So you learn how to detect the truth by not accusing someone of lying. You use these methods, creating the safe environment, not accusations, right? The observe the behavioral clusters, right? You observe them with caution too, because people get angry. Establish a baseline. Note how the person normally acts when they're comfortable telling the truth. Now, this is high level psychology because you're basically creating like a whole template. You're putting them in the experiment. They're in the laboratory and you're the scientist. You're establishing a baseline, saying, okay, this is how they act when they tell the truth. Now, let's look for a deviation from this baseline, such as a sudden rigidity or a change in breathing or posture when you ask them something that you know they're going to lie about. Because if they don't lie about it, they get exposed. So they'll be exposing themselves. And how do you do that? With unexpected questions. Unexpected questions, open-ended questions, increasing the load. So sometimes, you put a heavy question that increases the load, that stresses the mind even more because deception requires mental effort. You ask them to maintain a specific eye contact. Ask them to draw the diagram, like we said. Listen for speech irregularities. Request verifiable facts, specifics, truthful stories, very important. So, I figured I'd put this out there. I didn't want to stream too long tonight. Topsy, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
And sure, man. Yeah, I gotta get up.
Definitely. I'll keep the knowledge going, Mr. X. It's always a pleasure, man. And
great stream, man. Thanks, Topsy, coming on. That was great.
Definitely,
I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
Yeah, always, bro. Always, man. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for all the support. Even the trolls. Hey, you know what? Hopefully you'll come around and see the truth. But take care. Have a great night, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.